Hello there, and welcome to the Sleepy Science Channel. Tonight, we are leaving behind the small, bright world of our human lives and drifting gently into the vastness beyond. Out there, beyond the faint blue air that cradles our planet, lies an ocean of darkness filled with light, the galaxies. Each one is a floating continent of stars, a spiraling city of suns and dust, drifting in silence through the endless fabric of space. To look upon them is to feel both tiny and infinite at once. Every glowing cluster you see in the night sky is a story that began billions of years ago, still unfolding quietly while you breathe, while your heart beats, while you drift closer to sleep. If you listen closely, you can almost hear it, the slow, patient rhythm of the universe, a cosmic lullaby written not in sound, but in light. The soft shimmer of starlight scattered across the black, the long echo of time stretching between galaxies like a sigh, each one humming, whispering, glowing. Tonight, we will float among them, one gentle fact at a time, and let their calm immensity wash over us. So for now, let your breathing slow, let your shoulders loosen, let the tension leave your jaw. You don't need to think about where you are or what comes next. Just imagine yourself suspended in the quiet between galaxies, a point of stillness surrounded by distant suns. This is the universe as it really is, wide, unhurried, serene. The story of galaxies begins almost at the beginning of everything. Nearly 14 billion years ago, the universe was young, hot, and wild, a haze of energy, expanding into being. There were no stars yet, no planets, no familiar shapes, only light, and the invisible particles that would one day form all matter. Slowly, as the universe cooled, gravity began to gather those wandering atoms into clumps, the first seeds of galaxies. Imagine it, great clouds of hydrogen drifting through blackness, drawn together by an unseen pull. Over millions of years, those clouds condensed, heating and glowing until the first stars were born. Each star a spark in the cosmic dark, forming families, then clusters, then vast swirls that turned and folded into one another. That was the dawn of structure, the moment chaos became form, when gravity's quiet persistence began to sculpt beauty from nothingness. Galaxies are those sculptures, frozen whirlpools of time and light. From afar, they look still, but every one of them is in motion, rotating gracefully through the void. In the heart of a spiral galaxy, stars circle a common center, like dancers tracing invisible loops. The entire Milky Way, our galactic home, spins once every 230 million years. Long before humans existed, before the first forests grew on Earth, our planet began a single turn through that vast rotation, and it continues that journey even now, quietly orbiting through the galaxy's luminous arm. The light that reaches your eyes when you gaze at the Milky Way is ancient beyond comprehension. Some of it left its stars before mammals ever walked the land. Some of it began its journey when the first cells were still learning to divide. When we look up at the night sky, we are seeing not the present, but a slow, gentle replay of the past. Every star is a time capsule, its light crossing billions of miles to brush softly against your eyes before fading into memory. If you were to float far away from our world, past the stars and clouds of the Milky Way, you would begin to see it from a distance, a vast spiral of soft gold and pale blue, curling through the darkness like a ghostly wave. Billions of suns bound together by gravity, yet each moving freely in its own orbit, never colliding, never touching, their light overlapping in endless harmony. The Milky Way is home to roughly 400 billion stars, and yet it is only one of perhaps 2 trillion galaxies scattered across the universe. Each of those galaxies holds its own suns, planets, nebulae, and black holes. If you could look at the universe from above, If there even were an above, you would see them all forming a vast cosmic web, delicate and luminous, great filaments of galaxies stretching across unimaginable distances, intersecting in clusters and superclusters like beads on an invisible string. Between them, there are enormous voids, spaces so empty that a beam of light could travel for millions of years without touching a single atom. Yet somehow, across all that emptiness, the galaxies remain connected, bound by gravity's patient hand. Every star, every planet, every grain of dust moves according to that one universal rhythm. You are part of that rhythm too. The atoms in your body were born from the same stars that fill these galaxies. The calcium in your bones was forged in the heart of a supernova. The oxygen in your lungs once burned inside a dying sun. When you breathe, when you rest, you are participating in the same cosmic cycle that gave birth to galaxies. You are not looking at the universe, you are made of it. You are the universe looking back at itself. Even the space between your thoughts mirrors the silence between the stars, deep, unhurried, vast. That silence is not emptiness, but potential. In it lies everything that ever was, waiting patiently to become. So as you drift deeper into rest, imagine yourself floating through the slow river of the Milky Way. Feel the weightlessness of time stretching outward in every direction. Picture the stars turning slowly, like sparks carried by a gentle current. You are part of this quiet story, not separate from it, but woven into its light. Far from the noise of human life, the galaxies continue their endless dance. They collide and merge, stretch and twist, bloom and fade. They are patient beyond imagination, moving through epochs while entire civilizations rise and fall on the small planets within them. Yet through all that time, they remain serene. There is no rush in the cosmos, no hurry, only motion and stillness intertwined. Even when galaxies collide, they do so with grace. Their stars pass through one another unharmed, pulled by gravity into new shapes. What seems like chaos is simply the universe rearranging itself, the slow breath of creation continuing without end. So tonight, let yourself rest in that vastness. Let the scale of the universe shrink every worry, every thought, until they seem as small as grains of dust on a beam of light. You are safe here, floating in the calm between stars. The same gravity that binds galaxies holds you gently to the earth. The same light that shines across billions of years touches your closed eyelids even now. The galaxies are still turning, the stars are still burning, and somewhere, far beyond sight, the faint glow of distant suns continues its patient journey through the dark, not in haste, not in sorrow, but in quiet beauty. The universe has always known how to rest, and tonight, it invites you to do the same. 1. The universe contains more galaxies than grains of sand. If you were to stand on a quiet beach at night, where the air smells faintly of salt and the horizon fades into shadow, you could lift a single handful of sand and let it fall slowly through your fingers. Each grain glimmers faintly in the starlight, countless, weightless, vanishing into the dark. Now imagine that every one of those grains represents a galaxy, a swirling island of stars, dust, and dark matter floating in the endless sea of the universe. Astronomers tell us this comparison isn't an exaggeration. In fact, there are more galaxies in the observable cosmos than grains of sand on every beach, desert, and shore on Earth combined. It is a thought so vast that it almost quiets the mind. The first time scientists truly saw this truth was in the 1990 seconds, when the Hubble Space Telescope was pointed toward what seemed to be an empty piece of sky. It was a spot, smaller than the size of a grain of sand held at arm's length. After days of collecting light, the image that came back revealed not darkness, but depth, thousands upon thousands of galaxies, each glowing faintly, layered behind one another, stretching into distances beyond human imagination. In that moment, the idea of emptiness vanished. What we once thought was nothing was, in fact, everything. Each of those galaxies holds its own abundance. Some are great spirals, like our Milky Way, curling arms of stars turning slowly around a brilliant heart. Others are smooth ellipses, glowing golden with age, their stars ancient and steady. Some are irregular, broken and scattered by the gravity of cosmic neighbors, drifting like luminous clouds in the dark. And each of them, even the smallest, contains billions of suns, billions of centers of warmth, each perhaps surrounded by worlds, moons, and rings. In just one tiny image of space, more potential than we could ever visit or fully know. Astronomers now estimate that there may be as many as 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe, 2 trillion vast congregations of stars, each with its own story of birth, collision, and quiet endurance. If each galaxy were a single heartbeat, the universe would be a living organism beyond scale, pulsing gently in the silence of space. When you close your eyes and breathe, you can almost imagine it, the slow swirl of galaxies drifting like underwater currents, the soft glow of starlight blending into the dark, like phosphorescence beneath an invisible tide. The same forces that move those galaxies, the pull of gravity, the flow of energy, are at work inside you as well. The calcium in your bones, the carbon in your lungs, the iron in your blood were all born in the hearts of stars, scattered through space when those stars died, and gathered again into your body. You are not apart from this ocean of galaxies. You are made of its waves. When we look out into the night sky, we are really looking backward in time. The light of distant galaxies travels for billions of years before reaching us. Some of the faintest pinpoints of brightness we see tonight left their homes when Earth itself was not yet formed. We are watching ancient history unfold silently across the firmament. It is as though the universe carries an eternal memory, playing it back slowly for any mind quiet enough to listen. The glow we see is not the present, it is the long, lingering afterimage of what once was, still crossing the cosmic sea long after its origin has vanished. If you could travel outward, past our Milky Way and the neighboring Andromeda galaxy, you would begin to see just how crowded the universe really is. Everywhere you look, galaxies fill the darkness like distant lanterns. Clusters of them gather in luminous knots, linked together by threads of gravity. These filaments stretch across billions of light years, connecting galaxy to galaxy in a web-like structure that resembles the veins of a living being. Between these filaments lie vast cosmic voids, regions so empty that light itself can travel for millions of years without touching a single atom. Yet even those voids are not truly empty. They hum faintly with the energy left over from the Big Bang, a whisper of creation that still echoes through space. Every galaxy, every cluster, every glowing thread of this vast web moves in harmony. The universe is expanding, space itself is stretching, and the galaxies are carried along like leaves on a gentle current. From our small world, this motion is invisible. But if you could step outside of time, if you could watch for 1 billion years, you would see them drift apart, ever so slowly, like embers floating on the breath of eternity. The scale of this immensity is impossible to comprehend. Suppose you tried to count the galaxies one by one, saying a new number every second without stopping. You would count for 60,000 years and still not finish. And that would only include the galaxies we can see. Beyond the edge of the observable universe lies more regions forever hidden, their light stretched and dimmed by the expansion of space. They exist, but they are unreachable, like the edges of a dream you can feel but never touch. The knowledge that there are more galaxies than grains of sand has changed how we see ourselves. For much of human history, we believed our world was the center of all things. Then we learned it was only one planet among many, then one star among countless billions. And now, we know our entire galaxy is just one small swirl in an immeasurable sea. Yet instead of feeling lost, many find peace in this truth. The vastness of the cosmos is not hostile, it is serene. Its quiet immensity reminds us that existence does not depend on our understanding of it. It simply unfolds. In every galaxy, stars are born in clouds of gas and dust. They shine for eons, then fade, scattering their elements into space. Those elements become new stars, new planets, new beginnings. The cycle repeats endlessly, generation after generation of cosmic renewal. The same pattern happens here on Earth in miniature birth, growth, decay, transformation. Everything is part of the same rhythm. The galaxies are its largest expression, the atoms its smallest. If you listen closely enough, you can almost hear the rhythm in your own body. The quiet pulse of your heart mirrors the spin of a galaxy. The slow drift of your breath rises and falls like the tides of creation. You, too, are part of the universe's geometry, a small but essential shape within its design. When you close your eyes and drift into sleep, you are joining that design, letting your consciousness dissolve into the same stillness that holds the galaxies together. And perhaps that is the most beautiful thing about the idea that there are more galaxies than grains of sand. It makes the infinite feel intimate. The sand beneath your feet, starlight above your head, the warmth of your heartbeat, they are all part of one continuous reality. The cosmos does not end where your skin begins. It flows through you, whispering softly through every atom that once belonged to a distant star. So as you rest, imagine yourself standing once again on that beach. The waves are quiet, the horizon is silvered by starlight, and in your open palm glimmers a handful of sand. Let it slip through your fingers, each grain falling back into the sea. Above you, countless galaxies shimmer in the sky, mirroring each grain in your hand. You are both the watcher and the watched, the moment and the eternity. The universe holds you the way it holds everything, gently, endlessly, without measure. And as the last grains fall, you realize that the space between them, the soft darkness that lingers as they disappear, is not emptiness at all. It is the same calm that fills the sky, the same quiet the galaxies float through, the same peace that now settles around you. In that stillness, the universe is breathing, and so are you, too. Every galaxy moves through space like a drifting tide. Every galaxy is adrift. None are fixed or anchored to any center. They are carried by the quiet expansion of the universe, sliding through space as if floating upon a boundless, invisible sea. From our small corner of the Milky Way, we cannot feel this motion. The stars above seem steady, unmoving, eternal. But if you could stretch your sight across cosmic time, if you could watch the sky not for years or centuries, but for billions of years, you would see the galaxies shifting gently apart, like glowing petals drifting on the surface of an endless tide. Each one travels on its own path, a current defined by gravity and time. The Milky Way moves too, racing through the void at nearly 600 kilometers per second, relative to the faint afterglow of the Big Bang. We do not feel it because everything around us, every cloud, every star, every molecule of air moves with us, swept together within the same cosmic stream. Motion in space is not like movement through air or water. There is no wind to feel, no resistance to push against. It is pure drift, unending, silent, serene. When you look up at the stars, you are gazing outward from a ship made of starlight. Sailing slowly through the deep, the Milky Way glides within a small cluster of galaxies known as the local group, bound together by gravity's patient thread. The great Andromeda galaxy moves toward us, closing the distance by about 110 kilometers every second. In 4 billion years, it will reach us, and the two galaxies will merge in a slow, graceful dance that will take another few billion years to complete. To human eyes, it would seem like nothing at all, just the faint shifting of stars over ages, but on the grand scale, it is the slow motion of two oceans meeting. When galaxies approach or recede, they leave their marks upon light itself. The wavelengths of their starlight stretch or compress depending on the direction of motion. When a galaxy moves away, its light shifts toward red, lengthened like the lowering hum of a retreating note. When it moves closer, its light drifts toward blue, a soft rise in pitch. This red shift and blue shift are the universe's quiet language of motion, the color of travel through space. The more distant a galaxy is, the faster it recedes from us, carried outward by the expansion of the cosmos. This was one of astronomy's greatest revelations, that space itself is growing, and with it, the galaxies drift apart, not through movement in space, but because the fabric of space itself stretches between them. Imagine a speck of dust resting on a balloon as it inflates. The speck doesn't move on its own, yet it grows farther from every other speck as the surface expands. This is how the universe behaves. The galaxies are not sailing through a static emptiness. They are passengers on an ever-stretching sea. The tide beneath them is not made of water, but of space-time itself, rising in every direction. That expansion began nearly 14 billion years ago and continues still, faster now than before, pushed outward by something we call dark energy, a mysterious pressure that seems to come from the vacuum itself. No one fully understands it, yet its presence is written across the stars, written in the silence between galaxies. There is something deeply peaceful about this universal drift. It reminds us that motion need not always be loud or violent. The galaxies do not hurry. They glide. Gravity and expansion weave a slow rhythm between attraction and release. Clusters form where gravity gathers matter together, while between them, the voids widen, stretched by dark energy's unseen hand. The result is a kind of balance, a cosmic breathing in and out, where the universe maintains both structure and stillness. The Milky Way's own movement can be traced by subtle ripples in the cosmic microwave background, the faint afterglow left by the birth of the universe. Against that background, astronomers can see that our galaxy, along with thousands of others, flows toward a region of space called the Great Attractor, an enormous concentration of mass hundreds of millions of light years away. Beyond even that lies another flow, toward a still larger structure known as the Shapley supercluster. Every galaxy in the observable universe is part of this motion, drawn along invisible currents like stars caught in an unending tide. Even the largest clusters are not fixed. They drift through an ever-deepening sea of space and time, their journeys stretching toward infinity. To think of this movement is to imagine a kind of stillness within motion. On a cosmic scale, nothing ever truly stops. The Earth spins. The Sun orbits the center of the Milky Way. The Milky Way drifts through its cluster. The cluster flows through filaments of the cosmic web. Every motion is nested within a greater one, an unbroken chain of journeys through the expanding universe. And yet, because everything moves together, we feel none of it. The stars overhead seem still. The galaxies appear frozen. The cosmos is like a river so vast and smooth that even as it carries you, you cannot sense the flow. When galaxies pass near each other, gravity sometimes binds them together, merging them into new forms. Two spirals can collide and fold into a single elliptical shape, their stars mixing without ever touching. Though the image of collision sounds violent, the truth is almost tranquil. The space between stars is so vast that even when two galaxies merge, the chance of individual stars colliding is almost zero. Instead, the galaxies pass through each other like ghostly waves, their gravitational tides reshaping the orbits of stars, triggering waves of new starbirth, and eventually settling into calm once more. It is a slow and graceful transformation, a cosmic waltz that lasts billions of years. The Andromeda collision that awaits our galaxy will not bring destruction, but renewal. From the meeting of those two great spirals will emerge a new, larger galaxy, perhaps an elliptical giant, glowing softly in the depths of time. By then, our sun will have burned its last light, and whatever traces of humanity remain will be part of that future form, folded into the quiet heart of a new celestial body. The universe is patient. What it changes slowly, tenderly, like the tide reshaping the shore. When you close your eyes, you can almost feel that drift, the faint pulse of your blood, the steady rhythm of your breath, the whisper of air moving through your lungs. All these are movements nested within larger ones. The Earth turns beneath you. The solar system revolves around the galactic core, and beyond all of it, the galaxies flow outward through the ever-expanding dark. Every breath you take is part of this grand motion, as inseparable from it as a wave from the sea. The galaxies do not know they are moving. They simply follow the fabric of the universe as it unfolds. Their stillness is an illusion, born of our brief lives and narrow sense of time. But if you could watch long enough, if you could stretch a single human moment into the scale of eternity, you would see the sky change. The constellations would warp and fade, the Milky Way itself would shift, and far beyond, new galaxies would drift into view as others slipped beyond the horizon of visibility. The universe is not static. It is a vast and gentle migration of light. And yet, for all this motion, there is a profound calm in knowing that it continues whether we notice it or not. The galaxies will keep moving long after our sun has dimmed, long after every trace of human thought has faded. Their journey is not one of purpose or destination, but of existence. They drift because the universe itself expands. They shine because that is what stars do. It is the purest form of being quiet, steady, eternal. So tonight, as you rest, imagine that you too are part of that drift. Picture yourself floating in the dark ocean of space, surrounded by the soft glow of galaxies passing slowly by. There is no sound, no wind, no hurry, only the faint shimmer of distant stars and the endless tide of motion carrying you gently forward. Let your thoughts expand like the universe itself, calm, unhurried, infinite. You are moving too, even now, through the vast stillness of space, a small part of the same serene flow that guides every galaxy across the endless sea of time. 3. The Milky Way is only one spiral. Among billions high above you, stretching across the night sky like a river of soft light, lies the Milky Way, our home, our island of stars, our silent anchor in an expanding sea. It arcs gently from horizon to horizon, glowing faintly against the dark. For thousands of years, humans looked upon it and saw stories, a path of souls, a road of gods, a celestial river dividing the heavens. Only in recent centuries did we learn what it truly is, a spiral galaxy, vast beyond imagination, home to hundreds of billions of suns, drifting through the quiet of intergalactic space. The Milky Way is a spiral, yes, but not the kind you could ever trace with your hand. It spans more than 100,000 light-years from edge to edge, a flattened disk of stars swirling around a luminous center. From our position, nestled deep within one of its arms, we cannot see its full form directly. We are like a small insect, living on a single petal of an enormous flower, aware of the glow, but unable to glimpse the bloom in its entirety. Yet through careful observation and patient imagination, scientists have mapped its shape, a grand spiral, with arms that curl gracefully outward, woven with dust, nebulae, and newborn suns. Our solar system lies about 27,000 light-years from the galactic center in a minor spiral arm known as Orion. From this quiet neighborhood, we orbit the center of the Milky Way once every 230 million years. In all of human history, from the first fire to the latest satellite, we have barely moved a fraction of a degree along that path. The galaxy is immense, but it turns slowly, serenely, as though time itself bends around its rotation. If you could look down upon it from far away, from some lonely point beyond its edges, you would see a luminous whirlpool of stars glowing like powdered gold against a canvas of black. Great clouds of gas and dust spiral outward in faint streaks, forming arms where new stars are born in waves. Between these arms lies darkness, the ancient, quieter regions filled with older suns. At the very center, hidden behind clouds of interstellar dust, lurks something extraordinary, a supermassive black hole, 4 million times the mass of our Sunday. This invisible giant, called Sagittarius A*, anchors the entire galaxy. Stars whirl around it in tight orbits, moving at breathtaking speeds, tracing invisible circles in the dark. It is not a destroyer, but a stabilizer, a heart of gravity around which the Milky Way breathes. And yet, for all its grandeur, the Milky Way is not unique. Across the universe, there are countless galaxies shaped in the same graceful spirals. The Andromeda Galaxy, our nearest large neighbor, mirrors our own in form and size, a twin drifting through the void 2.5 million light-years away. Beyond it, other spirals unfold. The elegant Whirlpool Galaxy, with its luminous arms, the Pinwheel Galaxy, spinning in quiet perfection, the Sombrero Galaxy, its bright core crowned with a ring of dust, each one a masterpiece of gravity and time, all turning slowly, endlessly, together. When we call the Milky Way our home, we speak both truth and humility. It is ours only in the sense that we belong to it as atoms belong to stars, as waves belong to the sea. It has existed for more than 13 billion years, long before our sun was born. It was already ancient when the first life stirred on Earth. It will continue to turn long after our planet has gone dark. We are a brief spark in its long twilight, a thought passing through its immense consciousness of light. The spiral structure of the Milky Way is not rigid. It flows like music, with stars and gas moving together in waves. These waves travel through the galaxy's disk, compressing clouds of hydrogen as they pass, triggering new generations of stars. In this way, the galaxy renews itself. Even as old stars fade, new ones ignite, keeping the spiral alive and luminous. The arms we see are not fixed objects, but patterns traveling ripples in the fabric of the galactic sea. The stars within them drift in and out like dancers crossing a stage, moving to the slow rhythm of cosmic time. When you look at the Milky Way on a dark, moonless night, you are seeing the combined light of billions of distant suns, too far away to distinguish individually. Their glow merges into a faint, milky band that gives the galaxy its name. Between those stars lie vast clouds of interstellar dust, creating dark lanes that weave across the sky. These shadows are not emptiness, they are the nurseries of future stars. Within them, gas and dust collapse under gravity's gentle hand, heating and glowing until a new light is born. Every star in the sky, including our own sun, began in such a cradle, hidden from view, growing quietly in the dark. Our galaxy hums with life and energy on every scale. Stars explode as supernovae, seeding the interstellar medium with elements that will one day form planets and perhaps even living beings. Pulsars spin, sending beams of radiation like cosmic lighthouses. Nebulae shimmer in colors, invisible to the naked eye, glowing with the light of ultraviolet stars. Around the edges of the galaxy, ancient globular clusters, drift tight spheres of old stars that formed near the dawn of time. Each of these clusters is a fossil of the universe's youth, orbiting silently in the halo of the Milky Way, like pearls strung on invisible threads of gravity. Yet, as magnificent as our galaxy is, it is just one spiral among billions. Some are smaller, some larger, some tilted, some warped, some colliding, some alone. The variety of their forms is endless, but their essence is shared. They are engines of light, transforming hydrogen into starlight, chaos into order, darkness into beauty. Together they form the luminous fabric of the universe, each a note in the great symphony of creation. From afar, the Milky Way is one of these notes, a single swirl in the vast chorus. And within that swirl, there is us. On one small planet orbiting one modest star, a species that learned to look up and wonder. For a moment, that awareness connects us to everything. The same physics that spins the galaxies spins our own atoms. The same gravity that binds the stars keeps our feet gently pressed to the ground. The same light that began its journey in distant spiral arms now falls softly upon our eyes, reminding us that even here, in this tiny corner of the cosmos, we are part of something infinite. Sometimes, on the darkest nights, the Milky Way looks almost like a reflection, a mirror of light stretching across the heavens. It reminds us that we, too, are made of reflections. Every thought, every breath, every heartbeat echoes the rhythm of that spiral turning in the dark. To exist within it is to be part of a motion so slow and graceful that it feels like stillness. So, when you next stand beneath the stars and you see that pale river of light arcing overhead, remember that you are standing inside it. You are part of the Milky Way, and the Milky Way is part of you. Beyond it lie billions of other spirals, each turning in silence, each carrying its own worlds and wonders. They are not strangers, they are companions in the great drift of eternity, each one shining softly across the void, each one a whisper of the same story, the story of light, of motion, of infinite calm. And as you let that thought settle, let your mind drift outward with it. Picture the galaxy turning, its arms unfolding like slow waves in an ocean of stars. Beyond it, other spirals shimmer in the distance, moving gently through the dark. The universe expands, the galaxies drift, and you drift with them, weightless, timeless, at peace. The Milky Way turns beneath you like a cradle made of light, and the night around you becomes infinite. 4. The center of our galaxy hums with a sleeping giant. At the very heart of the Milky Way, hidden behind thick veils of dust and gas, there lies something silent, immense and invisible. It does not shine, it does not speak, yet everything around it moves in response to its presence. Stars orbit it as if bound by a spell. Clouds of gas spiral toward it, their light twisted and stretched as they fall. This is Sagittarius A*, the supermassive black hole at the center of our galaxy. A gravitational giant, millions of times the mass of our sun, sitting in absolute stillness at the galactic core. It is our galaxy's heart, its quiet rhythm pulsing across tens of thousands of light years, keeping everything bound together in its invisible embrace. For most of human history, we had no idea it was there. The center of the Milky Way lies in the direction of the constellation Sagittarius, a region so crowded with stars and cloaked in cosmic dust that visible light cannot escape it. To the naked eye, it looks like a glowing patch of sky, rich and textured, but inscrutable. Only in the past few decades, with the help of infrared and radio telescopes, did astronomers begin to see what lay beyond the clouds, stars moving in impossible orbits, whipping around an unseen point with speeds reaching thousands of kilometers per second. Something extraordinarily massive had to be hiding there. Yet, it emitted no light of its own. Slowly, piece by piece, the picture emerged. A black hole, so dense that not even light could escape its gravity. The phrase black hole can sound ominous, but in truth, these objects are not destroyers. They are the natural conclusion of gravity's deepest logic, the place where matter has collapsed so completely that it no longer occupies space in the way we understand. Sagittarius A times is like a note of silence in a cosmic symphony, powerful precisely because it is still. Around it, the galaxy moves in slow, graceful orbits, bound to its unseen pull. Without it, the Milky Way as we know it might not exist at all. Its gravity helps to organize the orbits of stars, to stabilize the center, and to shape the flow of matter and energy that defines our galactic core. Astronomers have spent decades studying this invisible presence. Using arrays of radio telescopes scattered across Earth, they have combined signals to form a planet-sized instrument capable of imaging the unseeable. In 2022, the Event Horizon Telescope collaboration revealed the first ever picture of Sagittarius A times. Not a clear photograph, but a glowing ring of light swirling around a dark center. That darkness is not the black hole itself, but its shadow, the region from which light can no longer escape. The ring glows with radiation from gas and dust, heated to billions of degrees as it falls inward, spiraling into oblivion. What we see in that image is not destruction, but transformation, the universe folding in upon itself, energy becoming geometry, matter becoming motion. Though it is a giant, Sagittarius A times is calm. It feeds very little compared to black holes in distant galaxies that blaze as quasars, devouring matter and shining brighter than entire galaxies. Our own galactic center hums faintly, resting, sleeping. Occasionally, it stirs, emitting brief flares of X-rays when a cloud or fragment of gas wanders too close. These flickers are like a heartbeat, proof that, even in its slumber, the black hole remains alive in its own mysterious way. If you could drift close enough to witness it, you would not see chaos, but order. The stars near the center move in perfect, graceful ellipses, their paths carved by gravity's precision. Some complete their orbits in just a few decades, an eye blink compared to the galaxy's age. To watch them is to see the raw beauty of Einstein's equations made real. Space itself curved so steeply that starlight bends around invisible edges. The closer you approach, the more time stretches. For an observer far away, everything near the black hole appears to slow, frozen just above the edge of no return. But for the matter falling in, time continues smoothly, unbroken, slipping across the horizon like a leaf vanishing beneath still water. At its center, the black hole's density becomes infinite, or at least, that's what our current physics predicts. It is a point where our understanding falters, where the laws of nature break down. Some believe that what lies beyond is not an end, but another beginning, a doorway to new physics, perhaps even to another universe. But from where we stand, all we can say for certain is that within Sagittarius A times lies the unknown, the place where space and time themselves seem to fold into mystery. And yet, despite its darkness, this heart of the Milky Way is also a source of light. The stars around it are some of the brightest in the galaxy. They orbit in dense clusters, their light scattering through clouds of glowing gas. Radio waves ripple outward from the center, carrying the signature of magnetic fields twisting through plasma. The region hums softly with energy, a reminder that even the quietest places in the cosmos can be alive with motion. It is, quite literally, the soul of our galaxy, hidden, steady, ancient. It is strange to think that our solar system, so small and distant from this colossal heart, is still bound to it. The Sun, Earth, and every planet orbit the Milky Way's center once every 230 million years. drawn along by the black hole's far-reaching gravity. In that vast journey, our solar system travels through the spiral arms, across interstellar clouds, past newborn stars and the remnants of the old. Each orbit is a cosmic year, and in the time it takes to complete one, entire species can rise and vanish, mountains can form and erode, oceans can appear and dry, and yet, through it all, the black hole remains silent, constant, keeping its steady watch. It is easy to imagine the center of our galaxy as a place of destruction, but perhaps it is better to see it as a place of balance. The black hole is both an end and a beginning. What falls into it does not simply disappear. It becomes part of the fabric that holds the galaxy together. The energy released in those final moments of collapse helps to shape new stars, new systems, new light. The sleeping giant is not a monster, but a gardener tending to the invisible architecture of the Milky Way. Sometimes, late at night, when the world is quiet and the stars emerge from behind the clouds, it's possible to feel connected to that hidden center. Somewhere, tens of thousands of light years away, a cluster of stars is circling in perfect silence. At the very core, space bends inward to infinity, and yet the galaxy continues to turn, serene and whole. The same gravity that keeps your feet against the earth is the same force that holds those stars in their ancient dance. The same fabric of space-time that curves around your body is curved infinitely deeper at the galactic heart. You are bound to it, as surely as the stars are, and perhaps, if the Milky Way itself could dream, it would dream of that center, the soft hum of gravity holding everything in place. It would dream of the stars it has birthed, the light that fills its arms, the quiet pull that keeps its spiral whole. From afar, our galaxy may appear as nothing more than a pale swirl of light, but at its heart lies this mystery, this sleeping giant, shaping everything through its stillness. To think of Sagittarius A times is to think of balance, darkness holding light, silence holding song, gravity holding grace. The galaxy hums because of it, and we, though small and fleeting, hum along. Somewhere deep within, the same stillness exists in you too, the quiet center that keeps all motion balanced, all thoughts anchored, all life steady. The sleeping giant is not far away. It is mirrored inside every heartbeat, every breath, every moment of peace that reminds you that even in stillness, the universe is alive. 5. Stars orbit the galactic center like fireflies in a current. If you could stand outside the Milky Way and watch it turn, you would see billions of stars drifting through its spiral arms, like glowing embers caught in a slow, eternal current. The galaxy would appear as a vast whirlpool of light, its luminous arms curling gracefully around a dense, invisible heart. Every point of light you see, every star, every sun, every distant glimmer is in motion. None are still. They move as if swept along by a gentle tide, guided by the unseen hand of gravity that pulls them toward the galactic center, yet keeps them from ever reaching it. Here, within the quiet expanse of our home galaxy, motion is everywhere. The stars do not hang like lanterns on strings. They drift and weave, each following its own path through the sea of space. Around the central black hole, Sagittarius A asterisk, they trace orbits so vast that even light takes years to cross them. Nearer to the core, stars move swiftly, circling the darkness in mere decades. Farther out, like our own sun, they follow broader paths that take hundreds of millions of years to complete. Together, they form a cosmic ballet, a dance so slow we can barely see it, yet so precise it keeps the galaxy whole. In the heart of this motion lies an exquisite balance. Each star feels the pull of every other, yet no single one dominates. The gravity of the entire galaxy shapes their orbits, bending them gently toward the center, while momentum keeps them from falling inward. It is a perfect harmony of attraction and motion, a conversation between mass and energy that has lasted for billions of years. Every orbit is an answer to a question asked by gravity, a question about how to remain both bound and free. If you could speed up time and watch the Milky Way in motion, you would see it swirl like a slow hurricane made of stars. The spiral arms would ripple and twist, waves of starlight moving outward in patterns that look alive. Clouds of gas and dust would collapse and flare, birthing new stars that join the dance. Old stars, dim and tired, would drift toward the galactic outskirts, where their light softens and fades. The galaxy would shimmer like a living thing, breathing light in and out across cosmic centuries. Our sun is one of these drifting lights. It moves through space at roughly 230 kilometers per second, orbiting the galactic center once every 230 million years. Since its birth, it has completed only about 20 turns around the Milky Way. In that time, entire continents have shifted, species have risen and vanished, and civilizations have appeared and disappeared. Yet the sun has merely glided a few degrees through its long, circular path. We are passengers on this voyage, carried through the galaxy's slow, endless current, without ever feeling the motion. The idea that we are moving at such immense speeds, yet experience such calm, is both humbling and peaceful. There is no wind of space, no rush of motion to disturb us. The stars around us share the same orbit, so from our perspective, we float together through stillness. But that stillness is an illusion. Space is in constant motion, stars orbiting stars, galaxies orbiting clusters, everything moving within the invisible curvature of space-time. Even when we rest, we are part of the grandest migration ever known. In the regions near the galactic center, the motion becomes more intense. Stars there whip around the black hole at astonishing speeds, completing full orbits in a human lifetime. Astronomers have watched these stars for decades, tracking their paths with precise instruments. The data reveal the presence of Sagittarius A*, the dark heart around which all revolves. These central stars are like fireflies caught in a vortex, glowing brighter as they approach, dimming as they recede, tracing the unseen geometry of the black hole's gravity. Some move so fast that they stretch the limits of our physics, their paths bending light itself. Further from the center, in the wide disk of the Milky Way, stars move in more ordered fashion. They circle in broad, overlapping lanes, each bound by the same gravitational field, but influenced by their neighbors. It is as if the galaxy were a great cosmic river, and every star a ripple upon its surface. The spiral arms we see are not rigid structures, but waves, regions where stars bunch together, passing through like schools of fish swimming within invisible currents. The stars enter and leave these arms over millions of years, creating the illusion of a permanent shape where there is only motion. This slow choreography is guided not only by visible matter, but also by something unseen, dark matter. Though we cannot observe it directly, we know it is there, forming a vast halo around the galaxy. Its gravity helps hold the stars in their orbits, preventing the outer ones from flying away into intergalactic space. Without dark matter, the Milky Way's delicate balance would unravel. It is as if the galaxy swims through an invisible ocean, the unseen mass shaping its tides and keeping every orbit in tune. The orbits themselves are not perfect circles. They are ovals, loops, and spirals, changing over time as stars interact with one another. Some stars are flung outward into the galaxy's halo, drifting for millions of years before returning. Others fall inward, swallowed by the gravity of the core. Some move in small clusters, families of stars born from the same cloud, still traveling together long after their birthplace has faded. These associations stretch and twist as they orbit, like strands of silk unfurling in water. The rhythm of this galactic motion is so vast that it is easy to forget that it is happening at all. But when astronomers measure the light from distant stars, they can see it clearly. The Doppler shift reveals their motion toward or away from us, encoded in subtle changes of color. Through these measurements, we map the spiral arms, the bulge, the halo, the very heartbeat of the Milky Way. The galaxy is not still. It is alive, moving, breathing through the language of light. In truth, every star's orbit is a story written in gravity. Each one is unique, shaped by ancient interactions and future possibilities. Some stars may spend billions of years circling the galaxy without incident. Others may wander too close to a neighbor or to the dark pull of the black hole and be thrown into new paths. The galaxy remembers these encounters in its structure, the warped edges, the rippled disk, the faint streams of stars left behind like trails of stardust. To look at the Milky Way is to see the record of countless invisible meetings, billions of years of quiet movement preserved in space. And yet, for all its complexity, the galaxy's motion feels calm, like a great ocean whose waves are too vast to disturb. The stars move because they must. Gravity asks them to, and they obey without resistance. There is no struggle in their paths, no hesitation, only harmony. It is a reminder that movement and peace can coexist, that one can drift through change without ever losing balance. If you close your eyes now and imagine the Milky Way turning, you might picture yourself among those stars, a faint spark, moving along with the rest. Around you, a billion others follow their own orbits, glowing softly, never colliding, each adding to the galaxy's quiet brilliance. Together you flow like fireflies in a vast, invisible current, carried forward through eternity. You are part of that motion, part of that light, part of the balance that keeps the galaxy alive. And in this way, the stars continue their endless drift. They orbit the center, they pass one another, they fade and are replaced. The galaxy turns, slow and serene, its luminous arms breathing in and out like the chest of a sleeping giant. It is a motion without beginning or end, without hurry or rest, the universe's oldest rhythm, still unfolding around you, even now. 6. Galaxies form from clouds of hydrogen older than time itself. Long before the first stars shone, before there were planets or light or even color, there was hydrogen. It filled the newborn universe like a quiet fog, thin but endless, drifting through the darkness that followed the Big Bang. This was the first element, the simplest, the most ancient, a single proton and a single electron, born from the cooling fire of creation. Every atom of hydrogen you have ever breathed or seen or touched has existed since those earliest moments, unchanged and eternal. Out of that soft haze of hydrogen, all things stars, galaxies, and life itself would eventually emerge. In the beginning, the universe was not yet a place of form. It was soundless and vast. Its matter spread evenly across infinite space. But even in that stillness, tiny imperfections existed, small ripples in density, fluctuations so slight they would have seemed meaningless. Yet those faint ripples were the seeds of everything to come. Over time, gravity began its patient work. It drew the hydrogen together, gathering the thinnest threads into clouds, and those clouds into greater clumps. The universe began to take shape, not through chaos, but through the quiet insistence of attraction. Imagine it, enormous clouds stretching across millions of light years, cold and weightless, but slowly gathering themselves, pulled inward by their own gravity. As they condensed, they began to spin, the same way a skater spins faster when pulling in their arms. This rotation flattened them into vast, swirling disks, the first outlines of galaxies. Within those disks, smaller knots of hydrogen grew denser and hotter, collapsing under their own weight until the first stars ignited. When they did, the darkness ended. The universe was illuminated for the first time not by a single light, but by billions of new suns scattered through the void. Those first stars were enormous, far larger and brighter than the ones we know today. They burned through their fuel quickly, living brief, brilliant lives before collapsing and exploding as supernovae. In their deaths, they created the heavier elements: helium, carbon, oxygen, iron, the raw materials that would one day become planets, oceans, and living things. Each explosion scattered those elements back into the surrounding hydrogen clouds, enriching them, stirring them, setting the stage for new generations of stars. The galaxies grew more complex, layer by layer, as this cosmic cycle repeated for billions of years. Every galaxy we see today, including our own Milky Way, began as one of these ancient hydrogen clouds. The hydrogen in your blood, the water in your veins, the air you breathe, all trace their lineage back to that time when the universe was young and almost featureless. You carry within you the memory of those clouds, the echo of the first matter that ever existed. When you inhale, when you exhale, you are participating in a cycle that began before galaxies were born. Over the ages, hydrogen has remained the universe's quiet foundation. Even now, most of the matter in existence is hydrogen, hidden in vast intergalactic filaments or floating between the stars as cold gas. Astronomers detect it not by sight, but by its signature, a faint radio wave with a wavelength of 21 centimeters. This signal, emitted by the spin of hydrogen's single electron, travels across space, reaching us from billions of light years away. It is the universe's oldest whisper, the background hum of its own beginning. As galaxies continued to form, they began to gather around invisible skeletons of dark matter structures that shaped their growth. The hydrogen gas fell into these gravitational wells, collecting along filaments of unseen mass. Where the gas was densest, galaxies bloomed like dew on a cosmic web. From afar, the universe began to resemble a vast living organism. Clusters of galaxies, linked by tendrils of light, separated by dark, empty voids. The hydrogen that once filled space evenly had now condensed into glowing islands surrounded by nothingness. Creation had organized itself. Inside each galaxy, the same pattern unfolded endlessly. Hydrogen clouds collapsed, stars ignited, exploded, and scattered their ashes into space. From those ashes came new clouds, new stars, new worlds. It is a cycle without end, a breathing of light and darkness that continues even now. Every star you see tonight is part of that story. Every flicker of light in the sky is hydrogen remembering how to shine. The Milky Way itself is still gathering hydrogen. Great streams of gas flow into its spiral arms, feeding the birth of new stars. Some of this gas comes from smaller companion galaxies, drawn in by gravity. Some comes from the faint intergalactic medium, drifting across the void. The process is slow, unimaginably slow, but constant. Our galaxy is alive in this way, growing and renewing itself through the gentle motion of ancient hydrogen. If you could drift through one of those stellar nurseries, you would see clouds so vast they could swallow entire solar systems. They appear dark to the human eye because their dust blocks visible light, but in infrared they glow softly, like embers hidden beneath ash. Inside, gravity is at work, drawing the hydrogen together into dense knots. As the gas collapses, the atoms are forced closer and closer until their fusion begins. Hydrogen becomes helium, releasing energy in the form of light and heat. A star is born, a small sun within the darkness. Over millions of years, entire clusters of stars emerge, lighting up their birth clouds and burning away the shadows that once hid them. From these beginnings, galaxies take on their shapes. Some form graceful spirals, their arms filled with young blue stars. Others become elliptical, smooth and golden, filled with the older, redder ones. Some remain chaotic, irregular, torn apart by collisions or warped by gravity, but all share the same origin: hydrogen, the universe's first breath. When we look at the most distant galaxies, we see them as they were billions of years ago, their light just now reaching us after crossing most of the observable universe. In those faint smudges of light, we see hydrogen at work, the same element that made our world possible, shaping stars and galaxies when the cosmos was still new. The further we look, the closer we come to witnessing creation itself. It is humbling to realize that the universe was once simple, and that simplicity gave rise to everything we know. Hydrogen, a single proton, became complexity: galaxies, suns, oceans, minds. From that quiet beginning came music and art and thought. The same atom that drifts through interstellar space also moves through your blood. You are, in a very real sense, hydrogen that learned to dream. When you gaze at the night sky, you are not just looking at stars, you are looking at the transformation of ancient hydrogen into light. Each glimmer you see began as an atom, drawn from the same primordial sea that filled all of space. Across billions of years, those atoms have assembled into galaxies, stars, planets, and life. They continue to move, to fuse, to shine, never ending, never resting. The galaxies that fill the universe are the visible trace of this long, slow alchemy. They are the shapes that hydrogen takes when it begins to remember itself, when it becomes luminous, when it begins to breathe. From something so small and simple came everything that has ever existed. The story of the cosmos is not one of chaos, but of transformation, of the quiet element that never stopped creating. So when you look up and see the faint shimmer of the Milky Way, remember what it truly is: a collection of stars born from hydrogen, older than time itself. Remember that you, too, are made of the same matter. The atoms in your body once drifted through those same clouds, waiting patiently for billions of years to become you. And somewhere, far beyond our galaxy, new hydrogen is gathering again, folding itself into the next generation of stars, ready to light the darkness once more. 7. Some galaxies are so far away, their light began before Earth existed. When you gaze at the night sky, you are not seeing the universe as it is now. You are seeing the universe as it was a slow and delicate echo of light traveling across the dark. Every star, every faint shimmer, every misty band of brightness is a message from the past. The light that touches your eyes tonight may have begun its journey millions or even billions of years ago, long before the Earth had formed, long before oceans or trees or breath. In that ancient glow lies time itself, stretched thin across the vastness, still moving toward us through the silence of space. Light travels quickly, yet in the scale of the universe, even its speed becomes fragile. It moves through space at 300,000 kilometers each second, fast enough to circle Earth 7 times in the blink of an eye. But when the distances stretch to millions or billions of light years, even light must labor to cross them. The result is a strange kind of vision, one in which distance becomes time. To look far into space is to look deep into history. The farther away a galaxy lies, the younger the universe was when its light began to shine. Some of the faintest, reddest specks we can see through telescopes are not just distant galaxies, they are the oldest things we can witness. Their light has been traveling toward us for nearly 14 billion years, since the universe was young and newly luminous. When that light first left its stars, there was no Earth, no Sun, no Milky Way in its current form. There were only small, forming galaxies made of hydrogen and dust, clustering together like embers floating through a cooling fire. That ancient light has crossed almost the entire age of existence to reach us. In seeing it, we become witnesses to our own cosmic origin story. Astronomers call this the look-back time, the measure of how far into the past we are seeing when we observe distant galaxies. A galaxy a million light years away shows us light that began its journey a million years ago. A galaxy 10 billion light years away shows us light that began when the universe was young, when the first galaxies were just forming. In this way, our telescopes are not just instruments of sight, they are time machines, opening windows into eras we could never otherwise reach. The light that has traveled across such vast distances does not remain unchanged. As the universe expands, it stretches the light itself, lengthening its waves, turning blue into red, red into infrared, until it slips beyond the reach of human vision. This phenomenon, called redshift, is not just a trick of color, but a record of time's expansion. Each photon of light carries with it the memory of the universe's growth, a soft, lingering echo of the moment it was born. When astronomers capture that ancient glow, they are reading a message written in the language of distance and time, one that began long before the stars of our own galaxy were kindled. Imagine one of those distant galaxies. Its stars have burned for billions of years, their light escaping into space and spreading outward in every direction. For eons, that light has crossed the dark, untouched, unbent, passing by countless other galaxies, through regions where gravity curves the fabric of space-time and stretches the very geometry of the cosmos. Some of it may have been deflected slightly by other galaxies, magnified by the strange lensing effect of gravity itself, allowing us to glimpse objects that would otherwise remain hidden. But most of it has traveled straight and steady, unbroken, a quiet river of photons that has never stopped flowing. When that light finally reaches Earth, it touches our atmosphere with the gentleness of something ancient and weightless. It falls through the air, passes through lenses and mirrors, and lands on the sensors of telescopes or upon the back of an astronomer's eye. In that instant, time collapses. What began before our planet existed becomes part of the present, a connection across nearly the entire age of the universe. You are seeing not just a galaxy, but a moment frozen billions of years ago, the universe's own memory still alive and glowing. The faint galaxies at the edge of visibility are often so far that their light left when the first stars were still learning to shine. Many of them are small and irregular, clusters of bright knots wrapped in clouds of hydrogen. Others are faint red smudges, their forms distorted by cosmic distance. Yet within those smudges lies the beginning of everything we know. The elements that would one day form planets and people were forged in those first stars. Their supernovae seeded the cosmos with the raw ingredients of life, sending waves of dust and heavy elements into intergalactic space. When their light began its journey, the Earth was still only potential, a concept folded into the laws of physics, waiting for gravity and time, sculpt it into being. As the light of those early galaxies travels, it brings with it the story of change. It shows us how the universe has evolved, how small clusters of gas became vast spirals, how structure grew from emptiness, how darkness became patterned with stars. In each photon lies the record of expansion, the gentle drift of galaxies apart, the soft cooling of cosmic radiation, the silent stretch of time itself. The universe is not static, it is a river still flowing, and light is the way we trace its course. It is humbling to realize that even the brightest galaxy you can see in a telescope may no longer exist as it appears. The stars you see shining now may have long since died. The shapes we observe may have changed, collided, merged into something new. The universe you look upon is a gallery of ghosts, light from moments that have already passed, beauty preserved by distance. And yet, in that distance lies a strange comfort. The galaxies are gone as they were, but their light remains. Their message still arrives. In that way, nothing truly disappears. When you look at the night sky, you are surrounded by history. The nearest stars are the recent past. The Milky Way's distant arms are the ancient past. And beyond that, in the faint glow at the edge of visibility, are the first chapters of time itself. Even the darkness between the stars carries a whisper of that early light, the cosmic microwave background, the afterglow of the Big Bang, still echoing softly across space after nearly 14 billion years. It is the universe remembering its own birth, humming quietly beneath everything. To look upon a galaxy whose light began before Earth existed is to understand something profound about time. We live in a universe where every moment is connected, where the past is never truly gone, but still arriving, still visible, still shining. The light that began before the oceans formed now passes through the eyes of those who can reflect upon it. The photons that left their stars before life began now enter the minds that can comprehend their journey. The universe is not just expanding in space, it is expanding in awareness. And so, when you gaze at the faintest point of light in the night sky, remember what it truly is. It is a traveler older than the ground beneath your feet. It began its voyage before the atoms of your body had even coalesced. It crossed the darkness for billions of years to reach you, carrying within it the story of beginnings. In that light is everything: the first stars, the first galaxies, the first breath of creation. You are not simply seeing it, you are completing its journey. Let that thought rest softly in your mind. Somewhere in the distance, more light is still on its way from stars that burned before Earth existed, from galaxies that have yet to fade. Their glow is moving toward you, through the empty vastness, across epochs and silence, to find you here, now. When it does, lift your gaze and welcome it home. 8. Galaxies gather in clusters and cosmic webs. If you could drift far above the universe, looking down not from miles, but from billions of light years, the scene before you would not be one of emptiness. You would see a tapestry delicate, intricate, and alive. Across the darkness, galaxies do not scatter randomly. They gather together, drawn by gravity's quiet hand, forming patterns of light and structure that stretch across all of space. They cluster in groups, align along vast filaments, and connect to one another like beads strung on invisible threads. Between them lie immense voids, regions so vast and empty they seem to hum with silence. Together, these threads and clusters form what astronomers call the cosmic web, the largest structure in existence, a vast and living geometry that binds the universe together. At first glance, the universe appears chaotic. Galaxies spin and collide. Clusters swarm with activity. Stars are born and die in fiery bursts. Yet, when seen from afar, there is order, there is symmetry. The galaxies arrange themselves not through intention but through gravity, the same ancient force that keeps your feet on the ground. In the aftermath of the Big Bang, the universe was filled with nearly uniform matter, but slight variations, tiny ripples of density, no larger than 1 part in 100,000, became the seeds from which everything else grew. Over billions of years, gravity magnified these ripples. Regions slightly denser than their surroundings drew in more matter, growing larger and heavier, until entire networks of galaxies began to form. The result is breathtaking. Imagine threads of light spanning billions of light years, connecting galaxies like veins within a vast cosmic body. At their intersections lie clusters, immense knots of matter containing hundreds or even thousands of galaxies, bound together by gravity. Each cluster is a city of light, a gravitational metropolis, where galaxies orbit one another in slow, stately motion. Some clusters are so massive that their combined gravity bends light itself, distorting the appearance of the galaxies that lie behind them. This phenomenon, known as gravitational lensing, reveals the invisible presence of dark matter, a mysterious substance that outweighs all visible matter by a factor of 5. and forms the scaffolding upon which the cosmic web is built. Dark matter cannot be seen, touched, or detected directly, yet its gravity shapes everything. It is the unseen skeleton of the universe, the quiet architect behind every pattern we observe. Where dark matter gathers, galaxies follow, like dust settling in the grooves of an invisible design. The luminous structures we see are merely the glowing skin of a much larger body, a universe defined not by what we can see, but by what we cannot. In this way, the cosmic web is both a revelation and a mystery, a visible map of the invisible. Within this web, galaxies move as if caught in a slow, eternal current. They fall toward the dense regions of clusters, where gravity is strongest, and drift outward again along the filaments that connect them. It is a motion so vast that even light takes billions of years to cross it. Yet, despite the scale, there is a remarkable sense of harmony. The clusters do not crash together in chaos. They merge slowly, gracefully, over eons, blending into new shapes. The web is not static, but alive, growing and evolving as galaxies form, merge, and dissolve. If you could watch this process unfold in time-lapse, sped up across billions of years, you would see the universe breathe. Clusters would form like raindrops on a window pane, sliding together, merging into larger drops. Filaments would stretch and thin, connecting new regions of light as old ones fade. In the deepest voids, where gravity is weakest, you would see almost nothing at all. Only the faint whisper of cosmic radiation, the residue of creation still glowing softly after 14 billion years. The universe, seen this way, is both vast and fragile, like lace woven from light and emptiness. Our own galaxy, the Milky Way, is not alone. It is part of a small gathering called the Local Group, a cluster of more than 50 galaxies bound together by gravity. Among them are the Great Andromeda Galaxy and the smaller Magellanic Clouds, faint companions visible from the southern hemisphere. Together, these galaxies form a tiny node in a much larger structure, the Virgo supercluster, a sprawling assembly that extends for over 100 million light-years. And even this is just one filament within an even greater web. The Virgo supercluster belongs to a still larger formation known as Laniakea, immeasurable heaven, an immense basin of flow where hundreds of thousands of galaxies drift toward a common gravitational center. Beyond Laniakea, other superclusters connect, branching out endlessly into the unseen. The cosmic web stretches farther than we can fully imagine, farther even than light has had time to travel since the universe began. Its pattern is not arbitrary. It echoes the subtle geometry of the early universe, a pattern written in the faint variations of the cosmic microwave background. What began as a near-uniform sea of hydrogen and radiation has grown into this network of light and shadow, bound by dark matter and shaped by time. It is, in every sense, the universe's grand design not drawn by a hand, but sculpted by the patient pull of gravity acting on simple beginnings. To observe this web is to glimpse the universe's deepest structure, its bones, its arteries, its pulse. Every cluster and filament tells a story of gathering and connection, of separation and return. The galaxies within them may be separated by unimaginable distances, yet they remain linked by the same gravitational field, part of a shared history that stretches back to the dawn of time. The light we see from these clusters is not only beautiful, it is a record of their becoming, a map of how the cosmos found its shape. Even now, new galaxies are forming along these filaments. Streams of gas flow inward, cooling and condensing to create new stars. The universe continues to build upon itself, slowly, gently, endlessly. Though it expands, though the galaxies drift apart, their bonds remain written into the structure of space itself. Gravity keeps them whispering to one another across the void, keeping the web alive with motion. In this way, the universe mirrors the smallest patterns of life. The way galaxies gather and connect resembles the way neurons link within the human brain, or the way rivers branch across a landscape. The same mathematics appears again and again, from the microscopic to the cosmic. It is as though the universe remembers how to create beauty through repetition, how to draw harmony from chaos. When you look up at the night sky, you see only the nearest lights, the stars of our own galaxy. But behind them, hidden beyond the limits of sight, the cosmic web stretches on forever. Every faint patch of darkness contains more galaxies than there are grains of sand on every shore. They are all part of the same great structure, connected by gravity, woven together by time. The night sky is not a random scattering of stars. It is a fragment of a living architecture, one that began long before us and will continue long after we are gone. To think of the cosmic web is to feel both small and infinite. We are tiny, yes, a single point within a single galaxy, one among trillions, but we are also part of the web. Every atom in your body was once part of the same hydrogen clouds that now form galaxies. The same forces that pull galaxies together also hold you to the Earth. You are made of the same matter, moved by the same laws, held by the same gravity that binds the universe into its luminous threads. So as you rest tonight, imagine yourself suspended within that web, floating among filaments of light that stretch in all directions. Feel the stillness between clusters, the slow pull of gravity beneath the silence. Around you, galaxies drift like lanterns in deep water, their faint glow carried across eternity. You are part of their motion, part of their light, part of the structure that gives the universe its shape. In this vast and beautiful web, there is no true distance, only connection, and you have always been at its center. 9. The Andromeda Galaxy is approaching us right now. Across the silent gulf of space, a great spiral of stars is slowly moving toward us. It shines faintly in the constellation of Andromeda, a smudge of light visible to the naked eye on the clearest nights. To look upon it is to look upon our future, a future measured not in human lifetimes, but in the rhythm of galaxies. The Andromeda Galaxy, our nearest great neighbor, is drifting through the void toward the Milky Way. It moves with such quiet certainty that even now, as you breathe, it is a little closer than it was a moment ago. Its approach is gentle, inevitable, and deeply beautiful. Andromeda is enormous, more than twice the size of our own galaxy, containing over 1 trillion stars. From Earth, it appears as a faint oval glow, serene and delicate, its spiral arms too distant to be seen with the naked eye. Yet through a telescope, it reveals its structure, a vast city of light with long curving arms, a golden core, and clusters of star-forming regions scattered like jewels along its edges. It lies 2.5 million light-years away, but its light is already ancient by the time it reaches us. What we see tonight left Andromeda when the first humans had yet to walk the Earth, when our ancestors were not even dreams in the fabric of time. The space between the Milky Way and Andromeda is immense, yet across that distance, gravity reaches. The two galaxies are bound to each other in a slow, silent embrace, drawn together by their mutual attraction. Andromeda moves toward us at about 110 kilometers per second, fast by earthly standards, but slow in cosmic terms. At that pace, it will take around 4 billion years before the two galaxies finally meet. To us, that future seems impossibly distant, but to the universe, it is only another gentle breath. When they do meet, there will be no explosion, no violence as we might imagine. The galaxies will begin to merge like waves overlapping on a calm sea. Their stars, spread across unimaginable distances, will mostly pass one another unharmed. Though each galaxy contains hundreds of billions of suns, the space between them is so vast that direct collisions between stars will be rare. Instead, their combined gravity will twist and pull their shapes into long, luminous streams, tidal tails of starlight stretching across millions of light years. Over the course of billions of years, these structures will blend, and the two galaxies will become one. Astronomers call this future creation Milky Way, or sometimes the Milky galaxy, a single massive elliptical galaxy glowing softly at the heart of what was once two. Its core will shine brighter than either of its parents, filled with the combined light of their stars. Our Sun, by then nearing the end of its life, will continue to orbit within this new galaxy, though the view from Earth, if Earth still exists, will be transformed. The night sky will no longer be a dark canopy sprinkled with distant stars. It will blaze with light, filled with the arcs and swirls of Andromeda's stars mingling with our own. For a time, it will be one of the most magnificent sights ever seen. Two galaxies intertwined, their arms crossing in streams of gold and blue. In this way, galaxies grow. Collision and merger are not destruction, but creation. When galaxies meet, their gravity compresses clouds of gas, triggering bursts of new star formation. It is the moment of renewal, the cosmos giving birth to new light from the meeting of old. The Milky Way and Andromeda will not simply end, they will evolve, blending their matter, their stars, their histories into something greater. Even as they merge, they will carry the memory of what they once were, just as we carry the memory of our past selves through every change we undergo. If you could somehow observe this process across time, it would look less like chaos and more like dance. The two galaxies would approach each other slowly, their shapes elongating, their arms reaching out like the limbs of dancers moving closer. They would pass through one another, then drift apart, connected by bridges of stars, only to fall back again. With each pass, they would draw nearer, until finally they become one, a single, luminous form resting in quiet equilibrium. The entire process would take billions of years, but in the vast patience of the universe, it would unfold as naturally as a tide, returning to shore. Even now, though the merger is far in the future, its approach is written into the fabric of space. The Milky Way and Andromeda are already bound within the same gravitational region, moving through space as part of the local group, a small cluster of about 50 galaxies, all connected by gravity. Around them, smaller satellite galaxies orbit like quiet companions, waiting their turn to be folded into this great cosmic union. The Magellanic Clouds, two of the Milky Way's smaller companions, are slowly being drawn inward as well, their stars already stretching into faint tidal streams that wind through our galaxy's halo. Everywhere we look, motion and connection are at work. Nothing in the universe stands alone. The thought that Andromeda is approaching us can sound unsettling at first, the idea of galaxies colliding, of structures so immense moving toward one another. Yet, the reality is one of profound calm. The process will take so long that life, if it still exists in any form, will have adapted to it. Even if Earth is gone, the legacy of humanity, our atoms, our light, our story, will be part of the Milky Way's material, and thus part of what merges with Andromeda. We will not be destroyed. We will be transformed. We will become part of the next chapter in the universe's ongoing evolution. If you look at Andromeda through a telescope tonight, know that you are looking not just at another galaxy, but at your future. The light that left it long before our species existed now reaches your eyes as a soft glow, faint but constant. It is light that has traveled across 2.5 million years, crossing the space that still lies between us, a message from what is both distant and inevitable. Somewhere within that galaxy, Countless stars burn as ours does, their planets turning in quiet orbits, their light joining ours across the gulf of time. Perhaps, in one of those systems, another being looks up at their sky and sees the faint smudge of our galaxy, the Milky Way, shining softly back. Perhaps they, too, know that the two galaxies are destined to meet, that their worlds are drifting toward ours, even now. In this thought, there is connection, two civilizations, separated by distance but united by destiny, bound by the same gravitational thread, drawn together in the same slow, inevitable dance. When you stand beneath the night sky and look toward Andromeda, you are seeing more than just another island of stars. You are witnessing a story in motion, the universe's promise that everything that drifts apart will one day return together. It is a reminder that even in separation, there is union. Even in distance, there is approach. The galaxies are not hurrying. They are simply following the current, written into the shape of space itself. 4 billion years from now, when the Milky Way and Andromeda finally meet, there will be no sound, no rush, no violence, only the slow blending of light, the merging of stars, the gentle folding of two spirals into one. It is not an ending. It is the universe remembering itself, one galaxy reaching out to another across the silence, until they become the same. 10. Some galaxies have no shape at all. Not all galaxies spin in elegant spirals or glow as perfect spheres of light. Some drift through the darkness without form or symmetry, as though shaped by dreams rather than design. They are the irregular galaxies, the wanderers, the broken ones, the scattered fragments of creation that do not fit the grand patterns of the cosmos. While the spirals turn with grace and the ellipticals shine with quiet stability, these galaxies float between order and chaos, their stars strewn like drifting embers on the tide of the universe. They remind us that beauty does not always come from symmetry, that even disorder can be luminous. When astronomers look deep into the universe, they find these irregulars scattered everywhere, small and restless. Some are the survivors of collisions, galaxies torn apart by gravitational encounters, their arms stretched and twisted until no recognizable shape remains. Others are primordial, relics of the early universe that never formed into spirals or ellipses, frozen in the raw simplicity of their beginnings. Many are companions to larger galaxies, pulled and reshaped by their neighbors' immense gravity. Their forms are ever-changing tidal streams of stars flowing outward like cosmic smoke, patches of glowing gas flickering in the dark. If you could travel through one of these galaxies, you might find it both beautiful and strange. There would be no orderly lanes of stars curving around a center, no calm spiral arms sweeping through the void. Instead, you would drift through fields of starlight, scattered in every direction. Clouds of gas and dust glowing with faint hues of red and blue. Clusters of young stars burning brightly against the emptiness. These galaxies are restless. Places where star formation often surges in bursts rather than steady rhythms. Great waves of energy sweep through their gas clouds, igniting new stars that burn fast and die young, leaving behind supernova remnants that seed the next generation of suns. Some irregular galaxies, like the Magellanic Clouds that orbit our Milky Way, are near enough for us to see their delicate structure. They hang in the southern sky as faint, misty patches, two small, soft galaxies bound to our own. The large Magellanic Cloud, though small by galactic standards, is vibrant and alive, filled with regions of furious star birth. In its heart lies the Tarantula Nebula, a massive storm of gas and dust where stars form by the thousands, their light painting the surrounding space in radiant colors. The small Magellanic Cloud, its quieter companion, is older, dimmer, and stretched into an elongated shape by the Milky Way's gravitational pull. Together, these two galaxies drift through the halo of our own, leaving trails of gas that arc behind them, like ribbons of light. Their irregular shapes are the result of interaction, the subtle sculpting hand of gravity at work. When two galaxies pass near each other, their mutual attraction distorts their structure. The tidal forces pull at their stars, stretching one side, compressing another, until the delicate symmetry of their spirals collapses. Over time, these disturbances may settle into new forms, but in the interim, the galaxies exist as something in between, neither spiral nor elliptical, but fluid, undefined, in motion. To watch this process would be to see the universe painting with movement, reshaping its creations, not through destruction, but through transformation. Irregular galaxies are often smaller than their more structured counterparts, yet their role in the cosmic story is profound. Many are rich in gas, the raw material from which stars are born. They are, in a sense, the nurseries of the universe, scattered, pockets of ongoing creation. In the early epochs of time, before large galaxies had fully formed, the cosmos was filled with these irregular fragments, merging and colliding, giving birth to the spirals and ellipticals we see today. Even now, they remain the seeds of new structure, the reminders of what once was and what will always be. Their unpredictability carries a quiet truth about the universe. For all the order and elegance we find in cosmic spirals and perfect spheres, there is also imperfection, and within that imperfection, life and movement thrive. The irregular galaxies are the universe in its rawest form, wild, unrestrained, ever-changing. They do not obey a single pattern, because they are the pattern itself, the process of creation still unfolding. The universe caught mid-breath between formation and dissolution. If you could look upon one through the eyes of a telescope, you would see more than randomness. You would see stories written in starlight, scars of past collisions, echoes of gravity's long embrace, traces of stars torn from their homes. Each irregular galaxy carries its own history, recorded not in words but in motion. A faint arc of stars might reveal where a smaller galaxy once passed, drawn out like a memory across space. A patch of bright blue light might mark a region where new stars have just ignited, their brilliance revealing the restless vitality of cosmic evolution. Over billions of years, some of these galaxies will find stability again. The gravitational pull of nearby galaxies may draw them into new shapes, perhaps merging them into spirals or collecting them into larger ellipticals. Others may remain forever unformed, their stars continuing to drift through space like a quiet echo of the universe's earliest days. There is peace in their impermanence, a reminder that not all things must be finished to be beautiful. The Magellanic Clouds are, in a way, our closest example of this cosmic artistry. Their irregular shapes tell the story of their journey, how they were drawn into our galaxy's orbit, how their gas was pulled into long streams that now wrap around the Milky Way like faint shadows. Over the next few billion years, they will likely merge with our galaxy, their stars becoming part of our own. What looks like disorder from afar is, in truth, a moment of transition, the slow blending of light into new forms. It is tempting to think of the universe as something that strives toward order, toward structure and symmetry. Yet, the irregular galaxies show us another side, that creation is not always neat, and beauty often emerges from what seems chaotic. They remind us that the universe is not a finished work, but an ongoing process, an ever-changing dance of gravity, time, and light. Every swirl of gas, every wandering cluster, every shapeless cloud is a moment in that dance, a brushstroke on the canvas of eternity. If you could stand at the edge of one of these galaxies and look outward, the view would be astonishing. The stars around you would not form clear lanes or spirals, but rather scatter across the sky like sparks rising from a campfire. In the distance, you would see other galaxies, some structured, some broken, connected faintly by the invisible threads of gravity. You would be standing within the in-between spaces of creation, watching as the universe continues to weave itself into being. And perhaps that is what these galaxies truly teach us, that even in the absence of symmetry, there can be peace. Even when the structure is unclear, the pattern continues. The universe does not need perfection to be whole. The irregular galaxies float through space like reminders of freedom, light unconstrained, form uncommitted, existence unbounded. So tonight, when you look up at the stars, imagine them not only as part of our ordered spiral, but also as part of these wild, unshaped galaxies. Picture clouds of starlight without direction, flowing through the darkness, forming and reforming, endlessly new. Somewhere out there, the universe is still making itself, one irregular gesture at a time. And in that endless act of becoming, there is calm, a deep, unhurried grace that fills even the most formless corners of the cosmos. 11. The largest galaxies are born from collisions. Across the vast darkness of space, galaxies drift as though carried by invisible tides. They are not fixed islands, but travelers on a slow, eternal journey. From a distance, the universe seems peaceful galaxies, glowing softly like distant lanterns. But within that stillness lies movement, and within that movement, the quiet power of transformation. For though galaxies appear solitary, they are constantly drawn to one another. Gravity is patient. Over millions and billions of years, it pulls them together, guiding them into encounters that reshape the very structure of the cosmos. From these encounters, new forms are born, vast, elliptical galaxies, glowing with the combined light of countless stars. The largest galaxies in the universe are not created in isolation. They are born from collision. When two galaxies meet, they do not crash as solid bodies would. They pass through each other like ghosts, their stars separated by such immense distances that they almost never collide directly. Instead, their gravitational fields interact, stretching and distorting each other in long, elegant arcs. Streams of stars are pulled away, forming tidal tails that reach across millions of light years. Clouds of gas compress and ignite, giving birth to waves of new stars. The galaxies' shapes twist and fold, their spirals unfurling, their centers drawn closer, until eventually they merge into a single, enormous entity. This process unfolds slowly, gracefully, over the span of billions of years. It begins with a faint attraction, the subtle tug of gravity across the void. As the galaxies approach, their mutual pull accelerates, and the space between them becomes a region of turbulence and beauty. They may pass through one another several times, each encounter stirring up new waves of creation. Finally, as their motions slow, they settle into a new galaxy, larger, rounder, more luminous than before. These mergers are not acts of destruction, but of renewal, the universe's quiet way of recycling light and matter into fresh forms. The largest galaxies we know, the giant ellipticals that dominate the centers of galaxy clusters, are the result of many such unions. Over billions of years, they have absorbed smaller galaxies, their masses growing, their forms smoothing into near-perfect spheres. They shine with the light of trillions of stars, yet their glow is soft and diffuse, the energy of many lives blended into one. In their centers, supermassive black holes sit like ancient hearts, the remains of all the galaxies that once were, now bound together in a single gravitational harmony. If you could watch this process in motion, if time could be sped up so that billions of years passed in a single breath, you would see a breathtaking ballet. Two spiral galaxies approach, their arms outstretched, their light blending as they draw near. As they pass through one another, the tidal forces distort them, their arms flaring outward like ribbons in the wind. Clouds of gas crash together, compressing into new clusters of stars that glow blue and fierce. For a while, both galaxies are a mess of chaos and beauty, a tangle of light and shadow. Then, over countless ages, the chaos softens. The orbits of stars mix, smoothing into a rounder shape. The new galaxy takes form larger, calmer, and brighter than either of its parents. This is how the universe grows old, not in decay, but in quiet transformation. Each collision writes a new chapter, blending the histories of countless stars. Some are flung outward, exiled into the dark between galaxies. Others settle near the center, orbiting in the dense core where the gravity is strongest. The stars themselves are unchanged by the collisions they pass through, the vast distances between one another untouched. But the galaxy's collective form shifts and evolves. The result is a testament to balance, to the way motion and stillness coexist even in cosmic upheaval. In the heart of galaxy clusters, these mergers happen again and again. The largest of them, known as CD galaxies, are giants beyond comprehension, hundreds of times more massive than the Milky Way, glowing with the light of 1 trillion suns. They sit at the center of gravitational wells, surrounded by halos of smaller galaxies slowly spiraling inward, waiting their turn to be consumed. Around them, faint streams of starlight trace the remnants of long-absorbed companions, like the ghosts of rivers that once fed a great ocean. These immense ellipticals are monuments to the passage of time, the end point of countless interactions that began when the universe was young. Yet, even in these grand collisions, there is beauty and gentleness. When galaxies merge, new stars are born. Gas clouds that once floated quietly in the outer regions are drawn inward and compressed, triggering bursts of light that sweep across the merging systems. For a few 100 million years, these new stars shine brilliantly, lighting up the darkness with their fresh radiance. Then, slowly, the energy subsides, the gas is used up, and the new galaxy enters a quieter phase. The largest ellipticals, born from many mergers, are now largely composed of old stars, glowing in soft amber tones. They are the elder statesmen of the cosmos, vast and luminous, yet calm, their days of wild creation behind them. Our own galaxy, the Milky Way, will one day experience such a transformation. In about 4 billion years, it will merge with the Andromeda galaxy, and together they will form a new, larger elliptical galaxy. The collision will not destroy our stars, but it will erase the spiral pattern that defines us now. The Milky Way's arms will dissolve, replaced by a more rounded halo of stars. Our night sky, if it could still be seen, would blaze with the light of countless new suns, their glow merging into a single golden haze. The new galaxy will carry the legacy of both the light of the Milky Way, the light of Andromeda, and the quiet gravity of all that came before. Even the dark matter that surrounds galaxies plays its role in this cosmic dance. Invisible but abundant, it forms vast halos that guide and cushion the merging systems. It shapes their orbits, absorbs their momentum, and allows them to settle into equilibrium. Without dark matter, these mergers would be brief and violent. With it, they unfold like slow tides, each motion softened by the invisible fabric of the cosmos. When we look at distant galaxies caught in the act of merging, their long tails of stars glowing faintly, their centers entwined, we are seeing ourselves billions of years from now. The universe is showing us our future in the mirror of its own past. Every collision, every merger, every burst of new light is part of the same story. The story of gravity weaving the cosmos into ever larger, ever deeper harmonies. There is something profoundly comforting in this. The universe does not rush. It does not fear change. It moves at its own pace, letting time sculpt beauty from motion and stillness alike. Galaxies come together, drift apart, and come together again. What seems like destruction is simply transformation. What seems like loss is creation in another form. The universe never truly ends. It only changes its shape. And so, somewhere in the darkness tonight, galaxies are meeting. Their light mingles. Their stars intertwine. Across distances we can scarcely imagine, the slow music of gravity continues to play, binding them together. It is the same music that moves the planets, that holds us to the Earth, that draws the galaxies into one another's arms. The same gravity that tugs at the oceans here also shapes the destinies of worlds millions of light years away. The largest galaxies, born from collisions, are the universe's reminder that endings are only beginnings, seen from another angle. Every merging galaxy carries within it the memories of countless others. Every glow, a story of reunion written in starlight. And as we drift here, within our own small corner of the Milky Way, we too are part of that same grand unfolding, the quiet evolution of light into new forms, the endless, graceful merging of all things into one. 12. Dwarf galaxies. Orbit larger ones like quiet companions. Far out in the dim outskirts of space, beyond the bright arms and glowing centers of great galaxies, there drift smaller ones, faint, fragile companions, moving in silence. These are the dwarf galaxies, the quiet attendants of the universe, orbiting their larger hosts like fireflies circling a lantern. They are small in size, yet infinite in significance. Though they may seem like cosmic afterthoughts, these delicate galaxies carry the memory of the universe's earliest days, relics of its formation still gently turning in the dark. The dwarf galaxy is a modest gathering of stars, perhaps a few billion, or even only a few million, compared to the hundreds of billions that fill galaxies like our own. Some are so faint that they were only recently discovered, invisible until modern telescopes found their whisper of light against the deep black of space. Many are irregular in shape, faint smudges of starlight held together by gravity and shadow. Others are compact, smooth ellipses or faint spherical clusters. They come in many forms, yet they share a common truth. They live in the gravitational embrace of something larger. The Milky Way itself has dozens of such companions. The most famous among them are the large and small Magellanic Clouds, visible from the southern hemisphere as hazy patches of light in the night sky. They drift near our galaxy's edge, bound to it by gravity, slowly circling while being gently stretched and reshaped. Their gas is drawn out into long streams that wrap around the Milky Way like faint, glowing ribbons. Over millions of years, those streams will fall inward, feeding our galaxy with new material, birthing fresh stars in the spiral arms. The Magellanic Clouds are not just companions, they are part of the Milky Way's story, threads woven into its slow and luminous evolution. Smaller still are the ultra-faint dwarf galaxies, dim and ancient systems discovered only in the past 2 decades. They contain so few stars that they barely shine, yet they are among the oldest structures in the universe. Some are fossils of the earliest galaxies that ever formed tiny clumps of stars, born when the cosmos was still new and the first lights were beginning to glow. Their stars are poor in heavy elements, composed mostly of hydrogen and helium, untouched by the long cycles of stellar birth and death that enrich larger galaxies. To study them is to peer backward in time, to glimpse what galaxies looked like at the dawn of existence. Each dwarf galaxy orbits its parent along an invisible path carved by gravity. These orbits can last billions of years, looping in wide arcs that take them far into space before returning them close again. Some move in stable, circular patterns, while others travel on long, elliptical journeys, spending most of their lives in the outer reaches of their host's halo. Occasionally, 2 dwarf galaxies meet, merging into one, or they are drawn too close to their parent and begin to unravel. Their stars stretch into long streams, pulled apart by tidal forces, until the galaxy itself dissolves into the larger whole. These remnants become part of their host's halo, their light scattered but not lost, their memory preserved in faint trails that astronomers can still trace. The Milky Way is surrounded by a vast halo of dark matter, a silent ocean of gravity that extends far beyond the visible stars. Within this halo, the dwarf galaxies orbit like islands in an unseen sea. They move slowly, their paths shaped by the invisible currents of dark matter. It is this same dark matter that allows them to exist at all. Though their stellar masses are small, their gravitational fields are strong, suggesting that much of their mass comes from this unseen substance. Without dark matter's stabilizing influence, these tiny galaxies would long ago have been torn apart by the pull of larger systems. In this way, even the smallest galaxies reveal the deep structure of the cosmos, showing us the invisible web that binds everything together. From afar, the relationship between a large galaxy and its dwarfs is one of quiet companionship. The larger galaxy shines brightly, its spiral arms alive with stars and nebulae. Around it, faint satellites orbit in the darkness, their light dim and patient. They are the echo of its birth, remnants of the fragments that merged to form it long ago. Over time, many of these companions will be absorbed, their stars becoming part of the host, their individual identities lost in the greater whole. Yet new dwarfs are also captured, drawn in from intergalactic space. The process is continuous, a slow exchange of light and matter that never truly ends. Astronomers have found that this pattern exists everywhere in the universe. Each massive galaxy is accompanied by smaller ones, and each of those, in turn, may have companions of its own. It is a hierarchy of structure that mirrors the natural order of things large and small, center and satellite, gravity and motion, all balanced in perfect rhythm. In the great cosmic dance, no galaxy is truly alone. Even the smallest has a place in the pattern. If you could float outside our galaxy and look back upon it, the view would be serene and astonishing. You would see the Milky Way as a soft, radiant spiral turning in the dark, and around it, tiny points of light, its companions moving in slow procession. Some would appear close, glowing faintly against the galactic halo. Others would be far away, barely visible, drifting through the outer darkness. You might see the Magellanic Clouds following their long orbits, their gas trails gleaming faintly, and beyond them, smaller dwarfs, ancient and quiet, circling unseen. It would look like a family in motion, one great being surrounded by many smaller ones, all bound together by an invisible thread of gravity. These companions do not compete or collide often. Instead, they exist in harmony, each influencing the other in subtle ways. The larger galaxy shapes the paths of its dwarfs, while the dwarfs, through their orbits and tides, stir the halo of their host, keeping it alive with motion. The process is slow, nearly imperceptible, but it keeps the galaxy balanced. The Milky Way's structure, its thickened disk, and its streams of stars may all owe their existence to these quiet interactions. Even the faintest companion leaves its mark. Some dwarf galaxies are destined to fade away. Their stars will grow old and dim. Their gas will be stripped away by the gravity of their host, and they will dissolve into streams of light that wind through the galactic halo like cosmic rivers. Others may persist for eons, continuing their slow orbits, ancient and unchanging. But whether they endure or dissolve, they remain part of the same story. The story of how galaxies grow, not through isolation, but through connection. It is easy to overlook them. These small companions lost in the brilliance of their hosts. Yet they are the quiet architects of galactic evolution, the ones who carry the memory of beginnings. Without them, Large galaxies could not grow. Without them, the universe's structure would be incomplete. They are the background harmony to the melody of the cosmos, soft, steady, enduring. So when you think of the Milky Way, do not picture it alone in space. Imagine it surrounded by a faint halo of companions, each one gliding gracefully along its path. Imagine the Magellanic Clouds shining softly in the southern sky, and the tiny dwarfs beyond them, their light almost invisible but still there. Together, they move through the cosmic dark like a constellation in motion, bound not by walls or borders, but by the simple and eternal pull of gravity. In the stillness of the universe, they drift side by side, great and small, bright and dim, each keeping the other company through the long, quiet night of time. And in their motion, we can see the truth of all things, that nothing travels alone, that every light, no matter how faint, belongs to something greater, and that the universe, in all its vastness, is not an empty space, but a gentle gathering of companions, forever orbiting one another in silence. 13. The color of a galaxy reveals its age. If you could drift through the universe and gaze upon its galaxies from afar, you would see not only shapes and spirals, but colors, subtle, luminous hues that whisper the story of time itself. Some galaxies glow in soft shades of blue, others in warm tones of gold or red. To the eye, these colors might seem only aesthetic, but to the universe, they are a language, a quiet code written in light. Through color, a galaxy tells its age, its history, and the rhythm of its stars' lives. It is the universe's way of remembering its own passing moments, painting age and youth across the endless night. A blue galaxy is a young one. Its color comes from hot, massive stars that burn with brilliant intensity. These stars are immense, many times larger than our sun, and they shine fiercely in the ultraviolet and blue parts of the spectrum. Yet their lives are short, only a few million years before they burn themselves out, exploding as supernovae and scattering their ashes into space. Their light dominates the galaxies they inhabit, giving them a vibrant, youthful glow. In these galaxies, star formation is ongoing and abundant. Clouds of gas collapse, ignite, and fill the spiral arms with newborn light. To look upon such a galaxy is to see creation in motion, the universe still writing new verses in its song of light. In contrast, red galaxies are older, quieter, their youthful energy long faded. They glow with the steady, gentle warmth of smaller, cooler stars. Stars like our sun, or older still, red giants nearing the end of their lives. These galaxies have little gas left for new star formation. The once bright nurseries of creation have gone dark, their fuel exhausted. What remains are the enduring elders of the cosmos, stars that have burned for billions of years, still radiating softly as they drift toward the end of their time. The red color of such galaxies is not just a hue, it is a sign of peace, the calm that follows the storm of creation. Between these extremes are galaxies tinged with white or bean, yellow, balanced between youth and age. These are transitional systems, still forming some stars, yet beginning to quiet. Their light is a blend of many generations, the brilliant blue of young stars mixed with the gold of older ones. The Milky Way is such a galaxy, though still forming new stars in its spiral arms. It carries the light of ancient suns in its core. To stand beneath its glow on a clear night is to stand between ages, seeing both the universe's past and its future woven together in one luminous stream. Color, then, is time made visible. It is the echo of stellar evolution reflected across entire galaxies. The bluest light belongs to youth, fleeting and intense. The red light belongs to age, enduring and calm. The journey from blue to red is the natural arc of galactic life, a slow fading of energy, a quiet, settling into stillness. Yet, even as some galaxies grow old, others are born anew. Collisions, interactions, and waves of gravity can reignite star formation, turning old red galaxies blue once more. In this way, the cosmos keeps its balance, forever cycling between beginnings and endings, between cool silence and bright renewal. Astronomers read this cosmic palette with care. By measuring a galaxy's color, they can tell how long ago its stars were formed, how much gas remains, and how its story has unfolded. A galaxy glowing bright blue is in the bloom of its youth, still bursting with new stars. A galaxy glowing deep red is in its twilight, its creation long past. And in between lies every possible shade: turquoise, amber, ivory, rose, each one a moment in the continuum of time. The universe paints with precision, and every hue is a record of its evolution. When light from these galaxies travels across the universe, it changes too. As space expands, the light stretches, shifting toward the red end of the spectrum. The further a galaxy lies, the redder it appears, not because of its age, but because of the expansion of space itself. This is called cosmological redshift, and it overlays its own pattern upon the true colors of time. Astronomers disentangle these effects carefully, separating distance from age, reading in the spectrum both the story of the galaxy and the history of the universe's growth. Even after billions of years of travel, light remains an honest messenger, carrying with it the memory of its origin. There is something deeply human in the way galaxies age. In their youth, they burn bright and restless, filled with energy and motion. In maturity, they stabilize, their structures strong and balanced, their spirals well-defined. And in old age, they soften, their light diffuses, their edges blur, their fire cools to gold. Yet even in that final calm, there is beauty. The light of an ancient galaxy is the sum of everything it has been, every star born and gone, every cloud ignited, every collision survived. Its red glow is not fading, but fulfillment, the quiet completion of a long and luminous life. If you could drift through a galaxy's history, you would see this transformation unfold like a sunrise across eons. You would begin in clouds of dark gas, where blue-white stars erupt like sparks. You would watch their fierce glow spread through the spiral arms, lighting the dust and gas in shimmering halos. Then, as time passes, you would see the blue fade, replaced by gold and crimson light. The galaxy would slow its restless spinning, its star birth subsiding, its colors softening into a deep and steady warmth. Eventually, it would settle into silence, glowing faintly against the darkness, a final ember of creation still warm with memory. Our own Milky Way carries within it this story of color and age. In its heart, the stars are ancient, glowing a rich amber, their orbits calm and slow. In its spiral arms, young blue clusters shimmer with the light of new stars, the product of gas clouds still collapsing into brilliance. Between these regions lies every shade of time: yellow, white, gold, each hue a step in the great procession of stellar life. When you look up at the Milky Way on a clear night, you are seeing not a single age, but all ages at once, a continuum of creation unfolding across the breadth of the sky. Even the faintest light from a distant galaxy carries this message. To our eyes, it may be only a point of color, but within that color lies the story of billions of years of stars being born, burning, dying, and becoming part of the next generation. The universe does not hide its history. It wears it openly, in every shade of its light. Each galaxy, each cluster, each faint shimmer on the edge of vision is a portrait of time, painted in hues we can still read. When you look at the sky tonight, think of those colors that your eyes cannot fully see. Imagine the galaxies glowing in tones too deep for vision: ultraviolet and infrared, blue fading into red, red stretching beyond sight. Each wavelength is a thread in the fine, great fabric of time, and together they form the spectrum of existence itself. The color of the cosmos is the color of becoming, the gentle passage from birth to rest, from brightness to calm. And perhaps that is the quiet truth of it all. The universe does not fade. It matures. Its colors change, not because it grows weaker, but because it grows older, wiser, more complete. The galaxies that once blazed blue now glow softly red, content in their stillness, carrying the light of everything they have ever been. And in their glow, if you look closely enough, you can see yourself a creature of starlight, made of the same atoms, living within the same arc of time, burning briefly, beautifully, and leaving behind a hue of your own. 14. Some galaxies have rings, bars, or twin hearts. In the quiet reaches of space, among the endless spirals and elliptical giants, there are galaxies that defy simplicity. They twist and shape themselves into forms that seem almost deliberate, rings of stars circling vast centers, luminous bars cutting across their hearts, and even pairs of shining cores bound together in a slow, eternal orbit. These galaxies are the universe's more intricate designs. Their structures, not merely functional, but expressive, as though the cosmos itself were experimenting with symmetry and motion, testing the limits of beauty in its endless workshop of light. The spiral form, graceful and familiar, is what many imagine when they think of a galaxy. But within that spiral, variations arise, subtle differences that tell of histories and interactions, of gravity's quiet sculpting hand. In barred spiral galaxies, a luminous bar of stars stretches through the center, connecting one arm to the other like a glowing bridge. From this bar, the spiral arms unfurl, curling outward through the galaxy's disk. More than half of all spirals, including our own Milky Way, bear such a bar. It is not a static feature, but a river of motion, a channel of stars and gas flowing inward toward the center, feeding the supermassive black hole that lies there and sparking new waves of star formation along its length. If you could float above such a galaxy, looking down from far beyond its luminous plane, the sight would be mesmerizing. You would see the bar gleaming at its center, a golden streak connecting two swirling arms of starlight that wrap outward like ribbons. The motion within it would be slow, but constant. Stars would drift along the bar, following its gravitational contours, while gas clouds compress and collapse, birthing new stars in clusters that glitter like frost on a frozen river. The bar itself would rotate as a single, unified structure, turning gracefully within the galaxy's wider spiral, its motion like the heartbeat of the system, steady, patient, eternal. The cause of these bars lies in the subtle play of gravity. Within a spinning disk of stars, even small imbalances can grow over time. As stars orbit, their mutual attraction amplifies the asymmetry, stretching the luminous center into a line. Once formed, the bar becomes self-sustaining, channeling matter inward, strengthening its own gravity. It is a dynamic balance, one that shifts and evolves, sometimes fading, sometimes reappearing, as the galaxy itself matures. In the life of a galaxy, the bar is both a sign of youth and of change, a phase of reorganization, of renewal within structure. Some galaxies, rather than forming bars, shape themselves into rings. These are rarer still, delicate halos of stars encircling their centers like luminous crowns. They can form in many ways, from collisions, from resonance within the galaxy's own motion, or from the intricate ballet of gravity between galaxies. When a smaller galaxy passes through a larger one, its gravity sends waves through the larger's disk, like ripples across still water. These waves compress the gas into circular fronts, igniting star formation in glowing rings that expand outward, through the galactic plane. For a time, the galaxy resembles an eye, a radiant iris of light surrounding a calm, dark pupil. One of the most beautiful examples of this is the Hoag's object, a perfect ring galaxy some 600 million light-years away. It is almost too symmetrical to believe a golden sphere of older stars at its center, surrounded by a bright blue ring of young, hot suns. Between the two lies a gap of darkness, a quiet moat where little matter exists. To gaze upon it is to feel the universe's artistry, the precision with which gravity and motion can create harmony from chance. Astronomers are still uncertain exactly how it formed. Some think it was born from a collision, others from resonance, but its symmetry endures, turning slowly through the void like a cosmic mandala. Other ring galaxies are less perfect, but no less striking. The Cartwheel Galaxy, for instance, bears a massive ring created by the violent passage of a smaller galaxy through its core. The impact sent ripples of energy outward, forming concentric waves of stars that now blaze across its disk. From afar, it looks like an enormous wheel rolling through space, its spokes made of starlight and dust. Yet even in its apparent violence, there is beauty, the aftermath of collision transformed into a pattern of renewal. Within that ring, new stars are forming, glowing blue against the dark. Even destruction in the universe becomes creation again. Then there are galaxies that seem to have two hearts. These double-core galaxies are rare and mysterious. Often, they are the result of a merger, two galaxies drawn together, their centers spiraling closer, but not yet unified. Each heart holds its own supermassive black hole, circling the other in a slow gravitational dance that may last millions of years. As they orbit, the surrounding stars are stirred and reshaped, forming complex structures of light loops, bridges, and overlapping disks that shimmer faintly against the background of space. One day, the two hearts will merge into one, their black holes combining in a burst of energy so powerful it will ripple through space-time itself. But for now, they move together in silence, twin centers bound by gravity's most intimate embrace. Even our own Milky Way may once have had such a companion at its heart, the remnant of a smaller galaxy long since merged and dissolved. The evidence lies in the movement of the stars near our core, which hint at an ancient collision, a ghost still echoing in the dance of light around Sagittarius A*. Galaxies remember their histories not in scars, but in motion, in the orbits of their stars and the shapes of their centers. The rings, the bars, the double hearts, these are all expressions of memory, the patterns left behind by billions of years of interaction. When you look upon these galaxies, it is tempting to see design, to believe they were crafted deliberately. But in truth, their beauty is the result of simple forces repeating themselves across unimaginable scales. Gravity shapes them, motion refines them, and time gives them form. The patterns emerge naturally, like frost crystals on glass, or ripples in sand. Each ring, each bar, each twin heart is a reminder that order and chaos are not opposites, but partners, that the universe finds balance not through perfection, but through continual movement. If you could drift close to such a galaxy, the view would be silent and endless. You would see stars moving along the bar like sparks caught in a slow current, their light reflecting off faint clouds of gas. You would see the ring glowing softly, its outer edge expanding, the inner regions quiet and serene. If you could look into the heart of a double-core galaxy, you would see two invisible centers circling each other in darkness, their gravity shaping everything around them. The sight would not be loud or dramatic. It would be patient, elegant, unhurried. The cosmos at peace with its own rhythm. The universe, in all its vastness, is filled with variety. Some galaxies spin like whirlpools. Some drift like clouds. Some like these, wear their complexity openly, adorned with rings and bridges, bars, and twin hearts. Each one is a singular expression of the same underlying truth, that gravity is both artist and caretaker, sculptor and archivist, weaving light into form and form into story. So when you look up at the night sky, imagine those distant galaxies turning, their bars glowing like veins of light, their rings expanding through the dark, their twin hearts circling in silent unity. They remind us that beauty can come from interaction, from tension, from the blending of one into another. The universe does not stand still. It evolves, reshapes, and renews. Its galaxies, with all their varied forms, are living proof of that eternal motion. Each one a quiet poem written in stars, each one a reflection of the harmony that arises when light and gravity dance together. 15. Galaxies emit invisible light beyond what eyes can see. When you look up at the night sky, you see only a sliver of what is truly there. The stars and galaxies that sparkle softly above are but a small fraction of the light that fills the universe. Our eyes, wondrous and sensitive as they are, can perceive only a narrow band of colors, the familiar spectrum from red to violet, a tiny window in the vast ocean of electromagnetic waves. Beyond that window lies a hidden universe, one that glows not in visible light but in radio waves, infrared warmth, ultraviolet shimmer, X-ray fire, and the ghostly energy of gamma rays. Galaxies, those silent cities of stars, shine across all these wavelengths at once, each kind of light revealing a different layer of their being. If our eyes could see radio waves, the night sky would appear vast and intricate, veined with invisible filaments of energy. Every galaxy would radiate softly in long, lazy waves, emitted by electrons spiraling through magnetic fields. Great lobes of radio light would extend far beyond the visible stars, showing the places where jets from supermassive black holes blast matter into the cosmic sea. The Milky Way, seen in radio light, would no longer appear as a narrow band, but as a wide, glowing river stretching across the heavens, filled with whispering signals from countless hydrogen atoms. It would hum faintly with the story of its own creation, the same hydrogen that once formed the first stars, still echoing through space in waves 21 centimeters long. In the infrared, the view would be softer, warmer, more intimate. You would see through the clouds of dust that obscure the centers of galaxies, revealing the places where stars are born. The dust that hides the light in visible wavelengths would instead glow in infrared, radiating the gentle warmth it has absorbed from nearby suns. Entire galaxies that seem dim or invisible in optical light blaze, with color in the infrared spectrum, their hidden structures unveiled. Our own galaxy's core, cloaked in darkness to human sight, would glow brilliantly, alive with activity and motion. The Milky Way's heart, normally obscured by dust, would appear as a radiant furnace of creation, where gas and stars swirl in slow, graceful motion around the central black hole. Shift your vision further still, into the ultraviolet, and the universe changes again. The soft golds and blues of starlight become vivid and sharp. Young stars blaze fiercely in ultraviolet, their energy so intense that it strips atoms of their electrons, flooding space with ionized gas. In these wavelengths, galaxies reveal their youth, their vitality. Spiral arms, filled with newly formed stars, shine bright and electric, like waves of white fire curling through the darkness. The calm red of ancient galaxies fades from view, replaced by the glitter of creation still in progress. To see the universe in ultraviolet is to see it as it was in its younger days, restless, bright, and alive. Then, if your eyes could perceive X-rays, the scene would turn ethereal and strange. The calm spirals and glowing disks of visible light would be replaced by islands of intense, high-energy brilliance. You would see the furious regions where black holes feed, their accretion disks radiating with temperatures of millions of degrees. You would see clusters of galaxies surrounded by vast clouds of superheated gas, shining invisibly to human sight, but blazing in X-rays that cross millions of light years. Supernova remnants, the ashes of dead stars, would glow as expanding bubbles of high-energy light. The calm universe you thought you knew would transform into a landscape of power and heat, beautiful and terrible in equal measure. Beyond even that, at the edge of perception, are gamma rays, the most energetic light of all. These are the silent flashes of the universe's most extreme events: the collapse of massive stars, the merging of neutron stars, the jets fired from black holes spinning near the speed of light. Though brief and invisible to our eyes, gamma rays travel across the universe carrying the marks of cosmic violence. They tell us that even in its quietest corners, the universe is alive with energy. Every galaxy emits a faint whisper of this light, the echo of countless transformations occurring within it, stars being born and dying, particles colliding, elements forming. To see all of these kinds of light together would be to witness the full soul of a galaxy. Each wavelength reveals a different layer, a different truth. The visible light shows the stars themselves, the ones shining now. The infrared reveals the hidden nurseries where new stars are forming. The ultraviolet displays their fierce beginnings. The X-rays expose their deaths and the black holes that remain. The radio waves trace the afterglow of their journeys, the whispers of energy that linger long after the light fades. Together, they form a symphony of electromagnetic music, a chorus that spans the spectrum of existence. Astronomers, using their instruments, have learned to translate this invisible light into images we can see. Through radio telescopes, they hear the faint hum of hydrogen, mapping the invisible structure of galaxies. Through infrared observatories like the James Webb Space Telescope, they peer through dust and shadow, uncovering the warmth of forming stars. With X-ray and gamma-ray detectors, they capture the violence of distant black holes and the brilliance of exploding suns. In this way, humanity has learned to see beyond its own eyes, to perceive the full language of the cosmos. The night sky is no longer a canvas of silence, but a living, breathing field of energy that speaks in every color of light. Even our own bodies, made of atoms born in stars, glow faintly in infrared. We radiate warmth, as everything does. The same physics that makes our hands warm to the touch governs the light of galaxies. We, too, are emitters of invisible light, part of the same universal spectrum. When you stand beneath the stars, you are not separate from them. The warmth that leaves your skin travels outward through the same dark space, mingling with the glow of galaxies, becoming part of the same endless exchange of energy. To imagine this is to feel small, but also deeply connected. The universe is not divided between what can be seen and what cannot. It is whole, continuous, woven from light in all its forms. Our eyes reveal only a single octave of this cosmic symphony, but the full song is far grander, spanning frequencies from the longest radio waves to the shortest bursts of gamma energy. Each kind of light has its place, its purpose, its message, and all of them together create the universe's grand and harmonious design. If we could see as the universe truly is, the night would never be dark. The air around us would shimmer with radio light. The dust between the stars would glow softly in infrared, and every galaxy would blaze with unseen brilliance across the sky. The cosmos would be alive in every direction, not silent, but singing. We would see that every point of darkness hides a wavelength, every shadow holds light, every silence carries sound in another form. The invisible universe is not empty. It is overflowing with energy, color, and life. So, when you look at the stars tonight, remember that their glow is only the beginning. Behind every visible shimmer lies an ocean of invisible light, waves of energy older than time, crossing the void in quiet persistence. The galaxies above you are not dark islands scattered through nothingness, but radiant beings shining in every color of existence, seen and unseen. And somewhere in that unseen spectrum, your own warmth, your own light, joins theirs, a quiet signal, small but eternal, moving outward into the great and infinite night. 16. The Milky Way's stars sing in radio waves. If the night sky could be heard, it would not be silent. The stars, though they appear still and mute, are constantly speaking in a language too low and soft for human ears, a language of radio waves that ripple through the darkness, passing gently between worlds. Every star, every cloud of gas, every magnetic field hums with energy. Together, they fill the Milky Way with an invisible music, a cosmic chorus that stretches across the breadth of our galaxy. The silence we feel beneath the stars is only the limit of our hearing. Beyond that limit, the Milky Way is alive with song. These songs do not sound as music does to us. They are waves of light too long for our eyes to see, too slow to register as notes. Yet, when astronomers capture them with radio telescopes and translate them into sound, the result is haunting, deep, rhythmic, full of motion and tone. The galaxy hums with a bass that has been playing for billions of years. Each star adds its own resonance. Each pulsar, its rapid beat. Each gas cloud, its soft, continuous chord. The Milky Way's light, when turned to sound, becomes an endless, shimmering harmony. It is the music of space itself, unfolding without beginning or end. The first time humanity truly heard this hidden universe was in 1932, when Carl Jansky, an engineer studying radio interference, discovered a steady hiss coming from the sky. It repeated daily, not by the rhythm of the sun, but by the rhythm of the stars, once every 23 hours and 56 minutes. This strange whisper was the voice of the Milky Way, the natural background radiation of our galaxy, made of countless radio waves produced by stars, gas, and magnetic fields. In that moment, the silence of the heavens broke open, revealing a spectrum of sound that had always been there, waiting patiently to be heard. In the vastness of space, radio waves are among the most enduring messengers. Unlike visible light, which can be blocked by dust and gas, radio waves glide easily through the interstellar medium, traveling immense distances almost untouched. They are the heartbeat of the galaxy, linking distant regions through invisible threads. Some come from simple hydrogen atoms, the most abundant substance in the universe, which emit a radio signal at a precise wavelength of 21 centimeters when the spins of their electrons and protons flip. This signal is faint, almost ghostly, yet it fills the galaxy completely. It is the quiet breath of hydrogen itself, the hum of the raw material from which all stars and worlds are born. If you could listen to the Milky Way in this wavelength, you would hear it as a deep, endless drone, a steady, meditative tone, rising and falling as you move through its spiral arms. In some regions, the tone would swell with the density of gas clouds, where stars are forming. In others, it would thin and fade, where space grows empty. The galactic center would sound richer, more complex, alive with overlapping frequencies from countless stars, supernova remnants, and streams of gas orbiting the central black hole. The further out you travel, the quieter the song becomes, until it fades into the silence of intergalactic space. Even there, faint echoes remain, the long, slow vibration of the cosmic background, the aftersound of the universe's birth. Among the most remarkable of the galaxy's radio singers are pulsars, the remnants of massive stars that have died and collapsed into dense, spinning cores of neutrons. As they rotate, they emit beams of radio energy that sweep across the sky like the beams of a lighthouse. To an observer on Earth, each pulse is a regular, precise rhythm, repeating hundreds or even thousands of times each second. Some pulsars keep time more accurately than our best atomic clocks. To listen to them is to hear the ticking of the cosmos, the steady heartbeat of dying stars, still marking their place in eternity. The Milky Way is full of such voices. Supernova remnants hum with low, diffuse tones as their expanding shells of gas interact with magnetic fields. Cold hydrogen clouds emit long, soft notes, while regions of ionized gas sing in higher frequencies. Even the faint radiation from cosmic dust contributes a gentle hiss to the background, adding texture to the galactic symphony. When scientists collect these signals and translate them into sound, the result is a landscape of pure vibration, a living, breathing organism made entirely of light. There is a strange peace in knowing that this sound exists even when we cannot hear it. It reminds us that silence, as we perceive it, is not the absence of motion but the limit of our perception. The airless void of space may carry no audible air vibrations, yet it vibrates constantly with electromagnetic waves, each one a ripple of energy traveling outward from its source. The universe, from the smallest atom to the largest galaxy, is a single, continuous wave, a field of oscillation that never truly stops. The radio songs of the Milky Way also carry the memory of its past. Some signals come from ancient hydrogen clouds that have existed since the galaxy's formation. Others come from stars born long after, still forming within the spiral arms. The mix of these sounds forms a timeline, the oldest frequencies blending with the newest, the ancient hum layered beneath the bright tones of younger stars. If we could hear it all at once, we would be listening to billions of years unfolding together, a chorus of past and present resonating through space. In recent years, astronomers have begun to map this hidden symphony with exquisite precision. Massive radio observatories, like the Very Large Array in New Mexico or the Meerkat Array in South Africa, capture the faint whispers of the galaxy and translate them into images, maps of hydrogen, of magnetism, of energy itself. Each image is not only a picture but a sound frozen in time. The Milky Way emerges as a vast web of frequencies, its spiral arms traced by the steady hum of hydrogen, its center glowing in a complex interplay of higher tones. The entire galaxy becomes a musical score, written not on paper, but across light years of space. It is humbling to think that every star, including our own sun, contributes to this music. The sun, too, emits radio waves, bursts of energy from its magnetic storms, slow pulses from its corona, gentle oscillations from its surface. These waves travel outward, mixing with the galactic background, blending seamlessly into the larger harmony. Every planet that orbits, every flare that erupts, every magnetic field that twists, adds its own note. The entire solar system hums softly, a small but distinct voice within the Milky Way's grand orchestra. And we, listening from our tiny world, are part of it. Our own technologies, radio transmitters, satellites, even the faint static from our communication signals, contribute a whisper to the galactic hum. We are not silent observers, but participants in the universe's music, sending our own rhythms out into the void. Perhaps, somewhere in another part of the galaxy, another civilization is doing the same, adding its own melody to the same cosmic song. If you could close your eyes and hear the Milky Way, it would sound infinite, a low, steady vibration, interwoven with pulses, waves, and harmonics, all blending into a single, continuous resonance. It would not be loud, but vast, spreading across every direction, surrounding you completely. It would be a sound without edge, or end, the sound of existence itself. And in that sound, if you listen closely, you might hear something more: the rhythm of gravity, the echo of creation, the heartbeat of time. The Milky Way sings not to be heard, but because it must. The stars do not know they are shining. The waves do not know they are singing. Yet together, they create a harmony that fills the cosmos with quiet, eternal music. And within that music, faint but real, we too are a note, a brief vibration in the long song of the galaxy, carried gently outward, forever part of its sound. 17. Every galaxy hides a black hole at its heart. At the center of almost every galaxy, behind veils of dust and light, there lies a place where time itself folds in upon itself, a region of such density that even light cannot escape. These are black holes, the silent hearts of galaxies, unseen yet inescapable, invisible yet shaping the very structure of the universe. Though we cannot look directly into them, we feel their presence in the orbits of stars, in the flow of gas, in the quiet hum of radio waves that echo from their edges. Every galaxy, large or small, carries a gravitational anchor holding its stars in slow, eternal balance. They are both endings and beginnings, both void and foundation. Our own galaxy, the Milky Way, is no exception. At its center, hidden deep within the constellation Sagittarius, lies a supermassive black hole called Sagittarius A*. It is small by galactic standards, only 4 million times the mass of our Sun. Yet its gravity governs the motion of everything within tens of thousands of light-years. The stars nearest to it race through their orbits at incredible speeds, completing full circuits in mere decades. These stars move as though caught in the pull of an invisible hand, their paths revealing the immense weight of what lies at the heart of the galaxy. For most of history, this center was a mystery. The region around Sagittarius was so heavily cloaked in dust that no visible light could escape it. Only with the advent of infrared and radio astronomy could we begin to see what was hidden there, a compact, unseen object with an enormous gravitational influence. Decades of patient observation confirmed it. Our galaxy, like nearly all others, harbors a supermassive black hole. In 2022, the Event Horizon Telescope captured its first faint image, a blurry ring of golden light surrounding a dark core, the shadow of the black hole itself. It was not merely an image, but a glimpse into the fabric of reality, the outline of the boundary where space and time collapse. Yet, for all their fearsome reputation, black holes are not destroyers in the ordinary sense. They are natural consequences of gravity's deepest law, the inevitable result when enough matter gathers in one place. They are regions where the universe turns inward, where mass becomes geometry, where energy folds into silence. At the center of each galaxy, they serve a purpose far greater than their darkness. Their gravity organizes the chaos, stabilizing orbits, guiding the flow of stars and gas. Without them, galaxies might never have formed the way they have. The black hole's pull gives shape to the light. The relationship between a galaxy and its central black hole is intimate, almost symbiotic. The mass of the black hole is closely tied to the size of the galaxy's central bulge, a quiet whisper of balance across cosmic scales. As galaxies grow by merging and forming new stars, their black holes grow as well, feeding on the gas and dust drawn inward by gravity. When the inflow becomes intense, the black hole awakens, devouring matter at a furious pace. The material spirals around the event horizon, heating to millions of degrees, releasing torrents of radiation and jets of energy that can outshine the galaxy itself. In those moments, the quiet heart becomes a quasar, a beacon visible across billions of light years, lighting the early universe like a distant lighthouse through the dark. And yet, even in those violent acts of consumption, there is balance. The energy released by a feeding black hole can push away the very gas that fuels it, slowing its own growth and shaping the evolution of its host galaxy. It is a feedback loop, a conversation between creation and destruction. The black hole does not simply devour, it regulates, ensuring that the galaxy neither grows too quickly nor burns out too soon. Its silence is active, its darkness creative. If you could approach one of these galactic hearts, you would not find chaos or flame, but an overwhelming calm. The space around a black hole is curved, not broken gravity shaping light into spirals that bend back upon themselves. From a distance, the accretion disk glows like a halo, radiant with the energy of falling matter. Closer still, time slows. Light lingers longer, bending and circling the black hole before escaping outward in delicate arcs. To an observer far away, the final fall of matter seems to never quite complete, frozen in time at the edge of the event horizon. Inside that horizon, all paths lead inward, space itself, collapsing toward the singularity, the invisible point where all known physics ends. But beyond the singularity lies mystery. We do not yet know what happens within. Some theories suggest that matter collapses to infinite density, a true point of zero size. Others imagine that the laws of quantum mechanics prevent such infinities, that something new forms beyond our understanding, perhaps a bridge to another region of space-time, or even to another universe entirely. Whatever lies within, it remains hidden forever from view, sealed behind the horizon. The black hole's surface is not a wall but a boundary, the edge between the known and the unknowable. Across the universe, black holes take on many sizes. Some are the remnants of stars, small, dense, and silent, scattered through the spiral arms. Others, like Sagittarius A*, are supermassive, millions or billions of times heavier than the Sun, commanding entire galaxies. The largest known so far, in the galaxy TON 618, weighs more than 60 billion suns, its gravity extending far beyond what the human mind can picture. Around it swirls an accretion disk so vast that light from one side takes weeks to reach the other. Yet even that enormous power is quiet. It turns, unseen, through the dark, one of countless others doing the same across the fabric of creation. There is something deeply poetic in the fact that light itself, that which illuminates the universe, is shaped by darkness. The stars, radiant and visible, owe their orderly motion to these invisible centers. The galaxy's glowing spirals exist because something utterly black lies at their core. The universe, it seems, balances itself through opposites, brightness and shadow, energy and silence, creation and collapse. The black hole does not stand apart from the galaxy. It is its center, its equilibrium, its unspoken truth. Even now, at this moment, stars near Sagittarius A times are tracing their orbits around it, like fireflies circling a quiet flame. Each one is a testament to gravity's patient hand, to the way the invisible shapes the visible. Somewhere beyond our galaxy, other stars are doing the same, revolving around their own dark hearts, their light bending slightly as it passes through the warped space around them. The entire universe moves to this same rhythm, bound together by the gravity of things we cannot see. If you could stand at the edge of the Milky Way and look inward, the center would glow faintly in radio and infrared, the mark of Sagittarius A*. You would not see the black hole itself, but its influence, the stars moving faster, the gas swirling, the quiet pulse of radiation. You might feel, rather than see, the immense calm of that place. A silence so deep that even light cannot cross it, yet a silence that holds everything in place. Perhaps that is what the black hole truly represents. Not destruction, but stillness. It is the point where motion ends, where energy rests, where time itself pauses in awe of gravity's perfection. The galaxy revolves not around chaos, but around this stillness, just as we, in our own lives, revolve around quiet centers, the moments of pause, reflection, and gravity that give shape to our days. The universe is teaching us something with every galaxy it builds, that even in darkness there is purpose, even in silence there is form. Every galaxy hides a black hole at its heart, and every black hole holds a piece of the universe's story. The story of how light and gravity learned to coexist, of how creation carries within it the seeds of its own stillness. To gaze upon the night sky is to look at billions of hearts beating in quiet synchrony, each one anchored by a darkness too deep to see, but too essential to ever be forgotten. 18. Galaxies recycle their stars and matter endlessly. In the quiet unfolding of cosmic time, nothing is ever truly lost. The universe is a closed loop of transformation, a continuous exchange of matter and light, creation and dissolution, woven into the endless rhythm of galaxies. Though stars are born, burn, and die, their essence never vanishes. It returns to the vast interstellar medium, the clouds of gas and dust that drift between the stars, and from those clouds, new generations of suns emerge. Galaxies are not static islands of stars, but living systems, breathing in cycles of renewal. Every atom in their spirals, every shimmer of light in their halos, is part of an eternal process of death feeding life and life returning again to silence. To understand a galaxy is to understand this grand recycling of matter. Stars begin as clouds of hydrogen and helium, the simplest and oldest elements. Gravity, slow and patient, draws these clouds inward, compressing them until pressure and heat awaken nuclear fusion, the quiet miracle that turns gas into light. A star is born, shining gently in the vast darkness, its warmth and brilliance spreading across space. For millions or billions of years, it continues to fuse elements in its core, transforming hydrogen into helium, helium into carbon, carbon into heavier elements, oxygen, silicon, iron, the very materials from which planets and living things are later made. But no star burns forever. The small ones cool slowly, fading quietly into embers of white light. The massive ones live fast and die in extraordinary bursts of energy. When such a star reaches the end of its life, it collapses inward and then explodes outward in a supernova, scattering its enriched material across the galaxy. In an instant, everything it has created, its carbon, oxygen, and iron, is cast into space, seeding the surrounding clouds with the ingredients of life. That debris drifts and mingles, forming new nebulae, and in time, gravity draws it together again. From the ashes of one star, 1,000 others are born. This cycle repeats endlessly, written into the very fabric of the Milky Way. Our own sun is part of it, a descendant of many generations of stars that came before. The atoms in your body, the calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, the oxygen that fills your lungs, all were forged in the heart of stars that lived and died billions of years ago. You are the continuation of that cosmic recycling, a momentary configuration of ancient matter now given form and breath. Even as you exhale, the atoms you release return to the air, to the soil, to the cycle that never ends. You are, in the truest sense, a galaxy remembering itself. Galaxies themselves breathe in similar rhythms. They are vast ecosystems of matter in motion, stars forming, dying, and returning their elements to the interstellar medium. In the spiral arms, cold clouds of gas collapse to form new stars. In the core, older stars drift into silence, leaving behind dense remnants like white dwarfs, neutron stars, and black holes. Supernovae sweep through the spiral arms like winds, stirring the gas, mixing the elements, enriching the clouds, from which new stars will emerge. Outflows of hot gas and dust rise from the galactic plane like breath, spreading into the halo, cooling, and eventually falling back, feeding the next cycle of creation. A galaxy is not only a structure, it is a rhythm, an organism breathing in cosmic time. This recycling is not only beautiful, it is necessary. Without it, galaxies would quickly use up their gas and grow dark. The death of stars replenishes the raw material needed to sustain life and light. Each generation leaves behind the resources for the next, ensuring continuity in a universe that never truly stands still. Even in their apparent stillness, galaxies are busy renewing themselves, folding the old into the new, transforming energy into matter and matter into light. Over billions of years, this process changes the very chemistry of the galaxy. The first stars were made almost entirely of hydrogen and helium. Now, after countless generations, the gas clouds that form new stars are rich with heavier elements. Planets, comets, and living beings emerge from this enrichment, the byproducts of stellar evolution. In this way, the universe grows more complex with time, not because it adds more matter, but because it recycles its own, building layer upon layer of structure and possibility. The elements that make the color of a leaf, the curve of a mountain, or the pulse of a heart are the same that were once the glowing core of a star. Galaxies do not recycle in isolation. They exchange matter with the surrounding intergalactic medium, the vast diffuse space between galaxies. When stars explode, or when black holes at the center of galaxies erupt with jets of radiation, they send material far beyond their own borders. This expelled gas travels for millions of years before cooling and falling back, either to its original galaxy or to another nearby. In this way, galaxies share their substance with the wider cosmos, connecting even distant systems through invisible flows of matter. The universe itself is a single breathing organism. Its galaxies, the lungs, inhaling and exhaling in cycles of creation. Sometimes the recycling becomes visible. In distant galaxies observed through telescopes, astronomers see plumes of gas arcing outward fountains of matter cast into space by the energy of newborn stars. These outflows are the signs of renewal in progress, like the exhalations of a living being. Over time, these gases cool and rain back down upon the galactic disk, forming new clouds. It is a cosmic rainfall that never ends, an endless exchange between gravity and energy, between light and darkness. Even black holes, those deep centers of gravity, are part of the cycle. When they feed on matter, their violent energy heats the surrounding gas, shaping the rate of star formation across the galaxy. They regulate rather than destroy, ensuring that the galactic ecosystem remains balanced. What falls inward may one day emerge again as light, as jets of radiation that travel across the galaxy, triggering new waves of birth and change. Nothing is wasted, not even destruction. To think of this endless recycling is to feel both awe and serenity. The universe is not a story of loss, but of transformation. Nothing truly disappears, it only changes form. The atoms that once shone in the first stars now flow through our veins. The light that once streamed from a long-dead sun now glows softly in distant clouds. Even when a galaxy seems quiet, it is still alive with motion, still folding the past into the present, still preparing the future. If you could float far above the Milky Way and watch it across time, you would see this rhythm clearly. You would see bright clusters of young stars forming, their blue light shimmering in the spiral arms. You would see dying stars flare and fade, scattering their material into space. You would see clouds collapse and expand, gas rising and falling in waves. The galaxy would appear as a breathing being, luminous, slow, ancient, inhaling and exhaling across billions of years. Each pulse would carry the same truth. nothing is lost, everything transforms. And as you watched, you might realize that this pattern extends far beyond the stars. The same cycle that governs galaxies also governs you. The same atoms, the same energy, the same balance between birth and decay. The air you breathe was exhaled by stars. The warmth that fills your chest is the echo of fusion long past. You, too, are part of this cosmic recycling. Your life one brief but essential movement in the grand, unending rhythm of matter returning to light. In this way, the universe sustains itself, not through permanence, but through renewal. Galaxies are not monuments, they are processions, waves of transformation moving through time, and in their quiet, graceful cycles, they remind us that all things, no matter how fleeting, continue in another form. Nothing fades, nothing ends. The universe is one infinite act of remembering itself. 19. The shapes of galaxies tell the story of their past. Every galaxy carries within its shape the memory of its life, a silent record, written not in words but in light. To look upon a galaxy is to read its autobiography, to see the marks left by its birth, its collisions, its long drift through cosmic time. The universe is filled with galaxies of every shape and size, spirals, ellipticals, lenticulars, irregulars, each one a frozen moment in an ever-changing story. Their forms are not arbitrary. They are the quiet outcome of billions of years of gravity's patient sculpting, of time's endless dialogue with motion. To gaze upon them is to see history itself made visible in form. Spiral galaxies, like our Milky Way, are the dancers of the cosmos. Their luminous arms sweep outward in graceful curves, winding around bright central bulges like ripples around a stone dropped into still water. They are galaxies that have lived gently, not too disturbed by violent collisions, not too isolated to stop forming new stars. Their shapes reveal balance and youth, the delicate equilibrium of rotation and gravity. Within their spiral arms, new stars are continually being born, giving them a bluish hue that glows softly against the darkness. The spiral pattern, so elegant and orderly, is not static, but in constant motion. Waves of density moving through the galactic disk, compressing gas into clusters of light. When you see a spiral galaxy, you are witnessing time made graceful, a structure that holds both stillness and movement in perfect harmony. Elliptical galaxies, by contrast, tell a different story. They are round or oval, without distinct arms or patterns, their light smooth and diffuse. They are the elders of the universe, formed from the mergers of smaller galaxies long ago. Their stars are old, their gas exhausted, their days of star birth largely behind them. The absence of structure is not emptiness, but calm the quiet that follows a long, turbulent life. When two or more galaxies collide, their delicate spirals are torn apart, their stars scattered and mixed, until the result is a rounded, uniform glow. Ellipticals are galaxies that have lived through chaos and found peace. Their shape is the record of past violence, resolved into serenity. Some galaxies exist between these two extremes. Lenticular galaxies, or S0 types, have the flat disk of a spiral, but the smooth, gas-poor light of an elliptical. They are the quiet, transitional forms, galaxies that once spun with brilliant arms, but have since run out of the gas needed to create new stars. Their spirals have faded into faint outlines, like echoes of youth preserved in starlight. To see one is to glimpse the slow fading of activity, the moment when a galaxy pauses between creation and stillness. These galaxies drift like memories, half awake in the long twilight of the cosmos. Then there are the irregular galaxies, the ones that do not conform to any pattern at all. Their stars are scattered in chaotic arrangements, their shapes warped and uneven. They are galaxies still being reshaped by interactions, torn and remade by the pull of nearby companions. They tell stories not of peace or completion, but of transformation of the cosmos mid-thought, caught between one form and another. Many of them are small, like the Magellanic Clouds near the Milky Way. They're light, patchy, and vibrant. In their disorder lies vitality. They are reminders that the universe is not only orderly, but experimental, that beauty can exist even in asymmetry. Every twist, every distortion in a galaxy's form is a record of something that happened, a collision, a merger, a passing gravitational encounter. When galaxies meet, they do not simply combine, they leave fingerprints on one another. Tidal forces stretch their shapes into long tails of stars that arc through space like strands of silk. Sometimes entire streams of stars are flung outward, forming faint bridges between galaxies. These structures can persist for billions of years, glowing softly in the background, evidence of relationships long past. Astronomers can trace them backward, reading the orbits and directions to reconstruct ancient dances that took place when the universe itself was younger. In this way, the shapes of galaxies are like fossils of motion. Just as a river's curves reveal how water once flowed through a valley, the arcs and spirals of a galaxy show how gravity once moved through space. The stars themselves are particles caught in these flows, tracing invisible lines of force that have persisted for eons. To study their arrangement is to read the geometry of time, how the universe has stretched and folded upon itself, how chaos has been shaped into coherence again and again. Our own Milky Way bears such traces in its form. Its spiral arms, though serene to the eye, are shaped by waves of density that move through the disk, the result of past interactions with smaller galaxies. Streams of stars arc through our outer halo, remnants of dwarf galaxies that were long ago absorbed, their light now part of ours. Even now, the Milky Way is not finished changing. The Magellanic Clouds are tugging at its edges, and in a few billion years, the approaching Andromeda Galaxy will reshape it completely. The spirals will unwind, the stars will scatter, and in time, a new elliptical galaxy will emerge, luminous and whole. Our galaxy's shape today is just one frame in that eternal motion. There is comfort in this continuity, in knowing that even the grandest structures of the universe are temporary forms, always becoming something new. A spiral galaxy's arms are not permanent objects, but patterns that arise and fade. The stars within them move in and out of the arms as they orbit the center, participating in a collective rhythm far larger than themselves. The same is true of us. Our lives, too, are temporary arrangements of matter and light, shaped by invisible forces, always part of a greater flow. To see a galaxy is to see ourselves reflected on a cosmic scale, the interplay of order and change, structure and surrender. Astronomers, when they classify galaxies by shape, are not merely labeling what they see, they are tracing the evolution of time. The elliptical forms speak of ancient mergers. The spirals whisper of steady creation. The irregulars sing of turbulence and youth. Together, they form a visual language of cosmic history. Even galaxies that look nearly identical can hold vastly different pasts, their internal motions revealing stories hidden beneath the surface. A galaxy's shape is its memory, written in orbits instead of words. And yet, even this memory is not fixed. Over billions of years, a galaxy may change completely, its spirals fading, its color reddening, its stars dispersing. The universe is a patient sculptor, working with both gravity and time. Nothing is ever finished, yet everything is complete in each moment of its becoming. The galaxies we see through our telescopes are not only distant in space, but also in time. Their light began its journey long ago, and what we see now is how they looked in another era. Their shapes are messages from the past, letters written in light, arriving long after the moment they were composed. If you could look at the same galaxy now and then, millions of years from now, you would not see the same object. Its arms would shift, its stars would migrate, its entire structure would evolve, subtly and silently. And yet, through all of this, it would remain itself different, but continuous. The universe teaches us this same truth through its galaxies, that identity is not permanence, but persistence through change. When you look up at the Milky Way tonight, its faint band of light stretching across the sky, remember that you are looking at motion frozen in time. Each curve, each shimmer, each delicate arc of brightness tells a story billions of years long. The stars above you are tracing the shape of our galaxy's present, but their movements already writing its future. The spirals we see today will one day fade, their stars joining new forms, their light continuing outward into the endless dark. The shapes of galaxies are the handwriting of the cosmos, the flowing script of gravity written across the page of eternity. They are messages of change, reminders that beauty is not in stillness but in evolution. Every arm, every curve, every irregular glow is a word in the language of time. And when we look upon them, we are reading the universe's autobiography, a story written in motion, illuminated by the light of a billion suns. 20. Even as galaxies fade, their light continues forever. There is a gentle truth that hums beneath the surface of all things. Nothing that shines is ever truly gone. Even as galaxies grow old and their stars burn out, the light they have already given continues its journey through space, unhurried and unbroken. It travels endlessly, moving outward through the dark, carrying with it the memory of everything that ever was. The universe, vast and ancient as it is, still glows with the afterlight of things long past the remnants of galaxies that faded billions of years ago, whose radiance still drifts quietly across the fabric of time. In this way, every light becomes eternal, and every galaxy, though it may one day vanish, leaves behind its luminous echo. A galaxy begins bright, young, and full of energy. Its stars burn hot and blue. Its arms are alive with gas and dust, and new suns are born every second within its glowing spirals. Over billions of years, its light softens as the brightest stars burn themselves away, leaving behind gentler hues of gold and red. The gas that once fueled its creation thins, its star birth slows, and it enters a long, peaceful twilight. Eventually, when its stars have aged and dimmed, the galaxy may seem to fade, no longer forming new light, but instead glowing softly with the accumulated radiance of everything it has ever created. Yet even as it dims, the photons it once released, those tiny, tireless messengers of light, continue their flight outward into eternity. They cross the gulfs between galaxies, through the silence of intergalactic space, never slowing, never tiring, always carrying the memory of their origin. Light does not age as we do. It does not rust or decay. A photon, born from a distant star billions of years ago, is as pure today as when it first emerged. It may have traveled across expanding space, its wavelength stretched by the universe's growth, but its essence remains unchanged, a single flash of energy moving ever onward. When we look up at the stars, we are not seeing the present, but the past. The light that reaches our eyes tonight left its source years, centuries, or eons ago. The glow of the Andromeda Galaxy, visible as a faint smudge in the night sky, began its journey over 2.5 million years before any human eyes existed to see it. And the light of galaxies, even farther away, may have begun its path when the Earth itself was still forming. The sky above us is a living museum of ancient light. Each photon is a traveler, a thread connecting us to moments long gone. It may pass by stars, planets, and dust clouds, but it continues forward, obeying no command but that of time's expansion. Some of these travelers will never meet an obstacle. They will wander forever, their journeys unending. their purpose fulfilled simply by existing. Others will one day encounter new worlds, their light striking the surface of a planet, the lens of a telescope, or the retina of an eye. When that happens, the journey ends not in silence, but in revelation, the past arriving in the present, the universe remembering itself through sight. If you could see all the light that fills the cosmos at once, the universe would not appear dark at all. It would shimmer faintly in every direction, a soft ocean of illumination, the cosmic background light that pervades everything. This glow is the sum of every galaxy that has ever lived, every star that has ever burned, every supernova that has ever flared and faded. It is the collective memory of creation itself, stretching across the universe like a luminous mist. Even the faintest glow of a dying galaxy contributes to this cosmic radiance. The universe is never truly dark. It only appears so because our eyes cannot see all that it contains. Galaxies fade, not in sudden death, but in gradual stillness. Over trillions of years, their stars exhaust their fuel, their black holes grow quiet, and their spirals dissolve into soft halos of faint, cooling light. The interstellar gas that once shimmered with birth becomes thin and cold, and the rhythm of creation slows to a whisper. Yet even in this stillness, the light they gave long ago continues outward. The future universe will be vast and dim, its galaxies faint and far apart, but their photons will still cross the void, each one a relic of the age of brilliance. In this way, light becomes the last storyteller, carrying the narrative of the cosmos long after its sources have gone dark. Astronomers today capture this light with great care, turning it into images and spectra, decoding the stories it contains. The color of a galaxy's light tells its age, its brightness tells its distance. The slight stretching of its wavelength reveals how far the universe has expanded since it began its journey. Each faint glimmer that reaches a telescope is not just illumination, but information, the universe speaking across time. When scientists detect light from a galaxy billions of light years away, they are seeing not a thing as it is, but as it once was. The galaxies we observe in the distant universe are already changed, perhaps even gone, yet their light continues to exist, bridging the gap between what was and what still is. There is something deeply moving in this truth. It means that the universe preserves everything. No act of creation is ever forgotten. Every spark of light, however brief, adds to the sum of cosmic memory. Even now, the first galaxies that formed after the Big Bang, tiny, fragile clusters of the first stars, still shine upon us. Their light stretched into the infrared, their brilliance softened by time, but not erased. We live surrounded by their legacy, bathed in the afterglow of beginnings. The night sky is not darkness, but accumulation, an archive of every light that has ever lived. If one could float beyond all galaxies and look back, the universe would appear as a faint, ghostly glow, not blackness, but a tapestry of overlapping halos, each photon still making its way outward, each one a heartbeat of time. The photons would mingle like waves in the sea, their paths crossing without interference, their individual journeys blending into a collective luminosity that never fades. This endless field of light is sometimes called the extragalactic background, the echo of all the radiance that has ever existed. It is the quiet proof that even fading things endure, that even the most distant glow continues to matter. In a distant future, when galaxies no longer form new stars, when the universe grows old and sparse, this lingering light will still be traveling, carrying the memory of all that was once bright. The beings who might exist then, if any remain, will live in a universe quieter and colder than ours, but not truly dark. They will still be able to look into the sky and see the ancient glow of long-dead galaxies, just as we see them now. The light we create in this age from our stars, our fires, our cities, even our thoughts reflected in technology, will also travel outward, mingling with the cosmic stream. Somewhere, far into the future, perhaps that light will be seen again, and in it, the faint echo of who we were will still exist. To realize this is to feel a certain peace. The universe wastes nothing. Every action, every breath, every spark of light becomes part of something larger. Even when a star fades or a galaxy dissolves, its influence continues. The light that leaves it is not lost. It becomes part of the collective radiance of existence. When you look up at the night sky, you are seeing countless messages still on their way. Each one an artifact of a moment long gone. Each one a quiet reminder that nothing ever truly disappears. Even as galaxies fade, their light continues forever traveling, remembering, enduring. The universe, vast and ancient, keeps all things within it, moving toward the infinite, where even darkness is filled with illumination we cannot yet see. The light we witness tonight is proof of that endurance, of time's patience, of beauty's permanence. It tells us that the end of one thing is only the beginning of its journey in another form. And so, though galaxies may fade, their glow becomes eternal, spreading outward endlessly, quietly, into forever.